Da 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 da. Da da da. Da da da. Say da da da. Da da da. Da da da. Oh, well, they say that life's a play and that all the world's a stage, and for another part I pray. The show ends the same every day. In my heart carries the pain of a brain I can't explain. Hey, am I insane? Am I insane? It don't matter and I don't care. I let my pain into the air, 'cause everything that's over there and everything here's hard to bear. No, it don't matter and I don't care. I let my pain into the air, 'cause everything that's over there and everything is hard to bear, and everything good is gone. Everything good is gone, and everything bad is here. And everything bad is here, and everything good is gone. And everything good is gone. Everything bad is here. And everything bad is here. It don't matter and I don't care. I let my pain into the air, 'cause everything that's over there and everything here's hard to bear. Everything good is gone. 'Cause everything good is gone. Everything good is gone. And everything bad is here. How's everybody doing out there in YouTube land? All right. Got my chats rolling in. We got my boy Lee, anti-NWO, the best mod a dude could ask for these days. Somebody who's got my back, which I appreciate. All right. Who else do we got? We got Swole Soul in the chat saying, "Sup, Jake? What's up, brother?" Bill Cooper Patriot says hello. Annie 0100 says, "Pretty bleak outlook." Yes, indeed. Sometimes it is pretty bleak, but I'm here to pick you up as we turn cheek. All right. Let's see here. Who else is showing up here in my chat? We got Steve DeCipio says, "Hello, Jake and everyone else. What's up, Steve?" Or as we like to say around here, "What's up?" Up. What's up? That's how I like to. Pen Gwinnatti says slow mode is on. Yeah, slow mode's on. It's because if I don't have slow mode on, then people just keep chatting so fast that I can't keep up with it. And then I notice a bunch of trolls like to slip in their little insults in between there. So we're going to keep it slow. And I have a subscribers mode only. So hopefully we don't get too many trolls up our conversation, because we're going to be talking about some serious shit. We're going to be talking about the war, or the staged war, as I like to call it, the staged war of propaganda. So we're going to be talking about the war, also going to be talking about the convoy, which I warned about. I warned you about the convoy. I warned you over a week ago about this damn convoy headed for DC. It's like, have you ever noticed a psyop was happening and you were like, guys, they're gonna have this fake psyop thing. They're gonna have this convoy shut down DC. It's totally gonna be bullshit. It's gonna be controlled, and they're gonna get real people to jump in on it. And then they're going to use that to punish people and track people down and bring in more rules and regulations. So we got some serious topics to cover. People are being distracted by this Russia-Ukraine war. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a few other things, but the main subject, we're going to talk about this war, which seems to be a great war of propaganda. Seems they can put damn near anything on a television screen or on a computer screen. Folks are going to buy it. And so we're in an era now where all you have to do is just show people images of war, and they'll make up the rest in their own mind. So how real does the war have to be? Seems to me that the are blown up and killed, and the more images they have on the screen taking over our minds, making us think we know what's going on, the better. You see, these wars now, it's all about the war on your mind. So they want you to think this country's going to fight that country, this country invading that country. Just remember, if the elites didn't want war, then there would not be war. Got a donation coming in right out of the gate from Abby Oz. Says, "What's up?" Uh-oh, you know what that means. That means I got to do it again. Because you sent a donation saying "what's up" and you stressed the you. You know what that means. What's up? Up. Yeah, I don't know why that happened. Right. Okay. All right. So another reason I wanted to use so I could read more comments. Sometimes when they're flying really fast, I miss comments. So beings that I don't live in Russia, I don't live in. If anyone from Russia or Ukraine or somebody who knows what's going on with the war and you've got some secret insider information, hey, feel free to pop it in the chat because I'll admit I'm an American. And when I walk outside this door, there's no bombs being dropped. There's nobody being shot as far as a war. There's like, some gang members which go shooting each other. There's some pimps slapping some hoes, and there's some homeless people out there. But other than that, I don't see any war when I walk out. So all the war I see will come on a computer screen. That's the problem with this war or any war these days is it's like if it's not going on where you live, if the war is not going on where you live, then that means in order for you to look at images of, you have to go where? Online or watch television. And of course, if you watch television, you're going to get propaganda from the mainstream media. And we all know the mainstream media is not going to steer you straight. So if you're going to want to find out what's really going on with Russia and Ukraine, well, where do you go? Where are you going to get your information? Seems to me if you don't, and you're not being within it firsthand, you're not the bombs dropped in front of you, you always have to go to a screen and watch images of war. And so here's my problem is when I sit back behind the screen and I watch images of war, I always am thinking, well, that could be staged. Well, that kind of looks fake. So now I'm in the position where if I want to research something like Russia versus Ukraine, I have to be like, okay, well, mainstream media is going to be lying to me, so not going to watch that. So I guess I'm going to have to go on BitChute and try to find somebody who knows what they're talking about, or see if I can find images of this war. And then when I get on BitChute, I also realize that that's also somewhat controlled and not completely reliable. So then when let's say a car blow up or a building blow up, I'm like, dude, you can do that with Hollywood special effects. I've seen movies where cars blow up and buildings blow up 1,000 times. So am I supposed to know what is real and is staged. I mean, anything that you see on a computer screen or a television screen, you have to take into consideration that you might be seeing something that's staged, like a made for TV movie. So I find myself with the task of like, I want to research this. But then when I go look shit up, I'm like, everything seems fake and staged. And so my initial research into war being controlled and staged goes back a long time ago. I'm guessing 2015 or so. I remember looking into war just being staged by the elites and controlled. And my initial research way back then led me to this one video. I can't remember the name, but it was like an English dude who's like, there's nothing more profitable than war. If the elites did not want war, then there would not be war. There is nothing in the world more profitable than war. And that is why the elites create war. So I can't remember the video. I wish I could have, like back in 2015. I remember watching this video where it's like, that makes perfect sense. If the Rothschilds, the elite, if they want war, that's why there is war. If they didn't want it, then there wouldn't be it. Because, of course, it's not about freedom. We know it's not about freedom. However, it is about freedom, FREEDUMB. Dumb. That's what they want. They're going to give you some free dumb. FREEDUMB. Free dumb. Because it ain't about your actual freedom. No, versions were a lot more real. For instance, my dad went to Vietnam when he was 18 years old, and he was instructed to kill these Vietnamese in the freedom. Yet the Vietnamese were not ever going to invade the United States and take away our. So really, what the hell were they over there fighting for? And to this day, my dad still doesn't know what the hell he was over there fighting for. So not only do I have my own father who can tell me stories of being filled with propaganda and bullshit, holding a machine gun while he's in a foreign country, not sure why the fuck he's even there fighting. He still to this day doesn't know why the hell he was there fighting those people. So when I look into my own father's experience with joining the military and going to fight in a war, and then when I look at the propaganda that we're served on television, and then when I look at the stuff we're being served today, seems to me you stage most of the war. And are there going to be real deaths, real bloodshed, real bombs drop? Sure. How much do you really need to do nowadays when you got everybody controlled? Watching shit on little screens and shit all day, watching everything on a screen. Pretty easy to manipulate the world and have this made for TV movie when everyone's always watching TV. And so that's what I'm going to open up with. Let me go ahead and read some comments. Fusion Density says, I think presidents should battle each other instead of innocent people getting killed. Oh, of course, you never see the elites out there on the battlefield, right? The elites don't go out there and do any fighting anymore. You see, a long time ago, many, many years back, we're told that the kings would go out on the battlefield and actually fight, that the royalty would actually go out there on the battlefield and lead their men into battle, back when battles were real and bloodshed was real. This country versus that country, and freedom was on the line. Yeah, things were a lot more real and it was a lot more serious. But nowadays, you can control the narrative and you can get the exact outcome that you want. So if the elites want a certain outcome, more regulations, more law, more power, they can cripple an entire region, multiple regions with staged war. And then, of course, they can finance both sides. And then when the bill comes due, the taxpayers of those countries have to pay the entire thing back to the bankers who finance the entire thing. Plus interest. And what's left? War-torn regions. Who comes to clean it all up? The government. Who has more control when it's all said and done? The people or the government? The government. Every time. Every time. Okay, I'll read some more of these comments here. L says, feel the exact same way. Low key T for life says, preach. Council of Nice Ears says, the mainstream has stated via Smithsonian that all early war footage was faked. And I can't say war footage everywhere is faked, but like for instance, like when I look up stuff right now on BitChute, I'll see like a car bomb blow up or a building blow up, and I'll immediately think like, dude, I've seen hundreds of cars blow up and buildings blow up in movies. When I was a kid, I started watching rated R movies on HBO and saw movies where cars were blowing up. I mean, the ridiculous shit we've seen in action movies with things exploding and guys getting shot and running around firing guns and stuff. We've seen all these scenes played out in action movies. So now when I have an eye to try to find the fake parts and be like, okay, where are they faking it? Is what I'm watching even a real battle scene, or did they just blow up a car? If you're just going to blow up a car and then tell me that that's a war going on, like how the hell do I know? And I have to think of how many people I know that are there in the mix and how much do they know? And the whole very confusing and hard to get a grasp on what's really going on. And that's the way they want it. They want to be the ones who feed you the narrative, you any part of what's really going on. Uh, Europatarians, Zionists, and politicians called for the war to happen. Count here says the only real war being waged is psychological, as per U.S. Army Field Manual 131. Oh, the psychological war from the government on the citizens of basically every country. Yes, yes, on government versus citizens. The psychological war is definitely on, and the amount of psychological operations they have going at once. Holy cow! Let's start with this one right here. This is their new worldwide religion, the living religion that they taught, uniting us under living religion. On the Georgia Guidestones, there's a passage, can't remember the exact wording, but it's about uniting us under a living religion. I believe the spiky balls is the new world order religion. And furthermore, the muzzle, the face diaper, is the religious garment. So instead of wearing a tiny hat, like instead of that, now they've got the entire world, no matter what religion you are, wearing the same religious garment, the face diaper. Doesn't matter if you are a Christian or if you believe in Buddha or whatever it is, whoever your God is, as long as they got you wearing a face diaper, have you believing in the almighty spiky ball. Did you understand that? I'll say it again. Got you wearing this garment, the face diaper, then it doesn't matter what religion you think you practice. You're practicing the new living religion created by the new world order. The one where you're supposed to be afraid of spiky balls. The one where you're supposed to willingly hand over your body so they can pump you full of a concoction that is supposed to keep you safe, except for the fact that you might test positive for spiky balls even after you get 4 of these. So it doesn't matter how many of these you get. You might test positive for the spiky balls, but you better go get one of these just to be, even though you can still test positive for the spiky ball. Still, you need to go out there and get yourself one of these just to make sure you're safe. So, this is your new world religion, worshiping of the spiky ball. And they worship the spiky ball through fear. Yes, a religious garment being the almighty face diaper. Got a donation coming in from Spidey Sense 3. Says, we appreciate you, Jake. Could we see a little safe, not safe, please? Okay. All right. Just for you, since you're requesting safe, not safe. All right. Here's how it goes, people. Right now, I'm a dangerous man. You know why? Because I have a mouth and a nose. I have a mouth and a nose. I'm not wearing a face. So you know what that means. Right now, anyone come near me, you're in trouble. You're not, man. You're playing with a dangerous man. I'm a dangerous man. You know why? I got me a mouth, got me a nose, ain't wearing a face. Makes me dangerous. So if you want to come near me, well, I guess you better be wearing a diaper, boy. And you better hope I'm also wearing a diaper, because if either one of us wearing our diaper, that means I just might shoot spiky balls at you. So, but now you're safe. Now you're safe. You're safe. There's no way I could possibly hurt you. But now I'm dangerous again. But now you're safe. You're totally safe. I can't hurt you because I have my diaper. But now you're in danger and I might sneeze on you. But now you're safe. Everything's cool. Oh, I might sneeze on you and you're going to die. Oh, but everything's cool now. Everything's totally cool now. Come on, let's be friends. Hey, you want to come over and hang out so I can sneeze on you? Ha 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 ha. Just, I'm going to be wearing my diaper, or am I? Yes, I will. You're totally safe. Everything's safe. Achoo. Ha 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 ha. Oh, safe. You're safe. You're safe. Everything's safe now. Danger. Safe. 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 Danger. You're in danger. Now you're safe. Now you're in danger. Now you're safe. Now you're in danger. Now you're safe. Now you're in danger. Now you're safe. Safe danger. 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 7 to 7 to 7 to 7 to 7. You're safe. Danger. There you go. Whew, the safe danger bit. Patented. That's my bit. Don't anyone go stealing my bit. You see anyone stealing my bit, you come back and tell me, and I will make sure to ruin their life. Thank you, Spidey. I appreciate the donation. Hope everyone enjoyed the bit. All right. Rose Bellman says no sound. If you're having a problem here, try going out, refreshing, and then coming back. Everyone else seems to be hearing it. So if for whatever reason you don't hear it, go out and refresh and then come back. But if you keep talking, then I guess you're not going to be able to listen to that anyway. So if there's no sound in you, well, then I guess you're just going to have to figure it out. Today's stream brought to you by Raw Milk. Go out there and buy some if you can. I'm not going to try and sell it to you, but I drink it. So I drink milk. So I don't have a promo code or anything. I can't tell you where you can find it in your state or if you even can or not, but I drink raw milk. Furthermore, I like to tell you that I drink raw milk, and I like to drink raw milk on camera because, here's the thing, because shills don't drink raw milk. Shills don't promote raw milk. You know why? Because they're usually too busy promoting the vegan death diet. So anyone who wants you to, eat a bunch of vegetables and get unhealthy and die, they're never in a million years going to tell you to drink milk. especially not raw milk. So I like to drink raw milk and talk about it just to prove one who the real dude is here. All right, moving on. Okay, so war here. If the bankers fund the whole thing, if the bankers who print the money, if they fund both sides, then the countries who are at war spend a bunch of money. And of course, they spend the taxpayers' money. And then the taxpayers are the ones who have to pay for all the debt. And then the debt is funneled back to the bankers plus interest. So it seems what you have left is a war torn area where the government comes in and takes control, more control. And what do you have when the whole thing's said and done? Power to the people or more power for the government? More power for the government every single. Oh, this country's going to invade that country and this country's going to fight that country. Just remember, all the war is manufactured, planned out, controlled, and even staged. Is there real live real people going to eat some bullets? Real people going to get blown up? Yeah, there's going to be some of that. But the entirety of the war, the majority of it is manufactured, planned, and controlled. Some guy said you'd die if you drink raw milk. Okay. He got immediately sniped by my mods. uh, Just the girl says, anyone know local Russian or Ukrainians? Yeah, if there's any Russians or Ukrainians in here who have any insider information, feel free to drop it. As I stated, I'm an American. When I walk outside the door, I don't see any war. And so if I want to see images of war, I have to go online and watch it on the computer screen. And whatever I watch, no matter what the source is, I always have to ask myself, how much of this is real? And when I try and put myself there, it's hard to imagine myself there and dealing with the same thing because here in America, I'm not in that situation. And so I have to like imagine the whole thing. And being I'm highly skeptical of the government, automatically I want to just auto hoax everything. I pretty much just auto hoax everything. And you have to prove to me something's real because I'm just going to, right out of the gate, I'm going to consider it fake. Here's a question that doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about, but I'll answer it real quick. Patricia Porter says, Jake the asshole, Svedia or Spirage says, if you believe in soulmates, you are mentally ill. Do you agree? I don't agree with Svedia or Gotis, which is why I started a parody channel and I make fun of him and I troll him. That guy is an absolute joke and a hack and a clown. And his old material used to be like 2 years ago. The dude put out good vids, but now he's an absolute e-begging scammer. And that's why I started a parody channel where I troll him. And do you know my parody channel gets thousands of views? I have an entire audience that's different than this audience. I have an audience that watches me specifically because I troll Gatis. So, yeah, what Svedia would say is believe in soulmates. That is because you are fucking mentally ill. There is no fucking thing as a soulmate. That is a man-made concept. And if you believe in something is stupid, then you are mentally ill. Now, even though money does not exist, I need your money. I can sleep in the Airbnb in France with Bella. So please send me your money, you fucking mentally ill slaves. There's a little bit of Gatis for you. Spirage Gatis. All right. Billman says, I've been called an electric eel in bed. Prove me wrong, ladies. Okay, then. You think there's ladies in here? Very few ladies watch me. I think it's like maybe like one lady for every like 100 dudes in here. Speaking of foot 420 says, sorry I haven't called you yet, Jake. I swear I will. Okay, foam foot. Any day now. Any day, sweetie. Uh Anthropic. I'm a chick, but I'm no lady. Ha ha. Ooh, I don't know what that means, but okay. uh Jenny Simon says, yep. Leslie Guy says, I am a lady and I watch you, brother Jake. Hey, look at all these ladies showing up right when I said there's not that many ladies who watch me. Totally proving me wrong. Okay, there's a lot of ladies who watch me. Tons of ladies watch me because I'm such a ladies' man, which is why I don't have a lady. Because all these ladies love watching me so much. All right. Got DSL 1984 with a donation. No message, donation. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Donations like that help keep Jake the Asshole alive and afloat, continuing to put out the world's best truth and entertainment all at once, combined together into one sexy concoction of love. All right. Felix says, ladies love Rusty. Sorry, Jake. Yeah, they do. It helps to have a cute dog. And I happen to have the cutest dog in the world, which does. So, while this war is going on, a lot of people are missing here in the United States. They're not paying attention to this supposed freedom convoy, and there ain't no freedom about it. It's free dumb. So this convoy is headed towards DC, and I see a lot of people falling for it and getting behind this truckers headed to DC. Here's the problem, guys. These truckers are going to shut down DC or an area in DC. And what do you think? You think that's going to set us all free and end all the man? No. It's going to bring about more rules and more regulations. And anyone who's involved, they might track you. They might track you down and freeze your bank account, hit you with some sort of jail time or fines. I would highly recommend, this is, you do what you want. I would highly recommend none of you get involved with this trucker convoy thing. I highly recommend you don't go out there. If you live in the DC area, you don't go out there and get involved. I highly, highly recommend you do not get involved. Here's the thing. This is a controlled protest and it's a planned protest. I pulled this thing out over a week ago. I said this thing looks like it might start picking up steam. If it fizzles out, then we don't have to worry about it. But if the media keeps covering it, then we'll know it's going to happen. The media has continued to cover this thing. I've seen on BitChute, 20 damn big rigs and people on the side of the road clapping and cheering them on. So people are buying into this nonsense that truckers are going to save the world. It's absolute nonsense. Nobody is coming to save you, especially not some truckers. So if you think that these truckers are going to outsmart the CIA, outsmart the government, and they're going to go shut down the everything's going to be fixed and go back to normal, never going to happen. Not in a million years. I'm not trying to be a fear monger or be negative. I'm telling you the truth that no one else is going to bring you. This convoy, just like the Canadian one, is an absolute psychological operation. Do not get your involved. I implore you, do not, under any circumstances, grab a sign and go out there and start honking your horn and waving around an American flag. what you're going to do is you're going to be a crisis actor. Ooh, shouldn't have said that. You're going to be participating in the big charade. I already used the word. Oops, no going back. So I highly recommend you don't be a crisis actor and stick yourself in this controlled psychological operation. Now I done warned you. The rest is up to you. And I'm already seeing truckers who are absolute shill bags who are lying to their audience and telling them somehow, you know, end mandates. This is going to somehow fix things. The world's going to go back to normal. No, going to bring about more rules and more regulations. Mark my words. So right now you have, in my opinion, what looks like a perfect on the rise. You got war over in Europe, then over here in the States, you got this convoy thing about to go down. So when this convoy thing finally pops off, and you got this war going on at the same time, well, when it's all said and done, almighty government is going to have a lot of new power. Have you looked at the agendas that are being pushed right now? Such as more regulations, more taxes. Have you looked into these agendas? Carbon credits. You know, they're going to make you pay for, oh, global warming. So now we need to take more. Just one of the many narratives. Here's the thing about the elites. They have all the money and they want more. They have the power and they want more. They never seem to have enough. Leads me to believe it's not about having a bunch of money and being well off. It's about having all the money all the time, while at the same time breaking the backs of the lower class and the middle class, putting that gap even farther between the low man on the totem pole and the man at the top. The farther they make that from the low class to the elites, the more power they got. And I don't know if you've looked around any of your big cities, but the homeless problem right now is exponentially getting worse by the day. They have homeless encampments here, gigantic. Just people setting up tents on the street. I feel bad. A part of me wants to go show you what it looks like, but I feel bad. I don't want to show you guys the nastiest stuff you've ever seen, but it's out there. If you want to look at videos, go look at Kensington, Philadelphia. Look at Oakland, California, and then type in homeless encampment, Oakland, homeless encampment, Kensington, Philadelphia, homeless encampment, Sacramento. Just type in homeless encampment and see what's going on. The amount of people going homeless and having to sleep out of tents is exponentially getting worse by the day. Before you know it, you're going to see every single major city, people just out in tents on the streets everywhere. So what used to be neighborhoods no longer nice anymore. So these nice neighborhoods are becoming far and few. I got a donation from ASR VIP. Says goal. Thanks for that. Sent me this funny little emoji guy, and it says goal. Thanks. Never got a super chat with little guy saying goal. That's a new one. Thank you. All right. Just a Girl says homelessness is spreading. Yes, it is, and it's by design. It's by design. And I know, a lot of them put themselves there and they have themselves to blame. So there's a lot of homeless people who made bad decisions, and put them, but it's so by design, so that it's stuck in this endless loop of drug and poverty, and you never can get out of it. And if you look at San Francisco, Oakland, the Bay Area here in California, it's so expensive to live that people get caught in a trap to where they run out of money. They start sleeping out of their car. Let's say they lose a car, before you know it, pitching a tent out on a street, and they're sleeping next to another guy pitching a tent, another guy pitching a tent, another guy pitching a tent. And then these encampments just get so big and so just go right back and start rebuilding the encampment again. And it's a sad process. If you want to film it and document it, well, they don't, the homeless there, they get mad at you if you film them, and you're not there to exploit them or make them look bad. So trying to document the situation of what's going on, the problem, get these people on camera, then you feel bad, like that you're putting their life out there to everyone. And so there are people who themselves in that position, but then, it's also by design. So there's a lot of hardworking people who ended up, have luck, who ended up in the same place in these homeless camps. So it's a sad deal. The bigger cities is the bigger the problem. The more liberal the city, the bigger the problem. Let me repeat that. The bigger the city, the bigger the problem. The more liberal the city, the bigger the problem. So let's say Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, super liberal cities, big populations, huge homeless problems, huge homeless encampments. There's actually neighborhoods that are nice where homeless people will show up and just start pitching their tent right on the street, and the cops don't do anything about it. And then the people who are, have in the area, they start calling the cops on them. Where are they going to go? What can they do? And so it's just this shitty situation that just keeps getting worse and worse. And it's all by design. So when I look at this perfect storm, we have, again, this staged war between Russia and Ukraine, which is only looking to get bigger, which can turn into a staged world war. And then we have this convoy headed towards DC. I'm thinking within the next 3-4 days, supposed to arrive in DC. You guys, this could be a huge deal. If this convoy shuts down DC, and it's looking like that's exactly what they're going to, in the name of freedom, they're going to say, oh, this is a bunch of right-wing radicals, right-wing Christian radical, domestic terrorists. That's what they're going to call them. They're going to call these truckers headed towards DC. Once they take over DC, blockade an area, they're going to start calling these guys right-wing radicals, part of the Quanon. They're white supremacists and domestic terrorists. You see the narrative that can easily be played out here? So we're looking at a perfect storm on the horizon, a perfect storm of propaganda. The perfect storm of propaganda. And are the sheeple going to buy into it? Oh, you bet your ass. The sheeple are going to eat it up. I can see it already. Them truckers is going to go out there and they's going to fight for our freedom by honking their horns and parking their trucks. Those brave truckers are going to smile when they honk their horns. Honk, honk. Yeah. How well did that work out in Canada? Remember when all those honked their horns in Canada and everybody waved their flags? Yeah. What did that do? Did it get rid of the guys in power in Canada? No. Did it bring about more rules and regulations? Yes. Is that what's going to happen here in America? Sure. But to what degree? More so than in Canada? Is it going to be even worse? I hope not. I hope not. So again, I highly implore you don't get in on it. Flip Flop Days Indeed says, I'm a trucker and you lose. I don't know what that means, but if you think you're going to go over there and fix the world, go do it. Go get in your truck, drive to DC, park, and honk your horn, buddy. And then when the police come along and tell you to move or they're going to seize your truck, you're going to drive away like a little girl. So you'll lose. Just like you. People don't like when I talk like that. Jake, you're so negative. What do you say we do? Hey, I don't have all the answers for you, but if I spot what looks like a psychological operation about to happen, then of course I feel it's my duty to tell you guys, hey, look, don't get yourself involved. That means I'm trying to save you, trying to save you in your life. Don't get yourself involved. Yeah, the Canadian government already looking into tracking down anyone who showed up to protest. They made a bunch of new rules and regulations because of that shit. So that's what they're going to do here. Don't get yourself involved. You could get your vehicle towed. You could get arrested. They could have a lawsuit against you, months later when they track you down after you showed your face on camera. So I wouldn't get myself involved. And again, no truckers are coming to save you. I'm sure there's some good people whose hearts are on the line getting involved. That doesn't matter. The whole thing is controlled and set up, and it's going to bring about more rules and more regulations for Big Daddy. And again, people don't like it when I tell it like it is. Jake, it hurts our feelings when you tell it like it is, but somebody's got to tell it like it is. Somebody's got to tell you the truth. I can't coddle you, stroke your little balls and say, "Oh yeah, truckers are going to save us. The truckers are going to honk their horns and the bad guys are going to run away. The rough are going to die and fall over and no longer be in power because the truckers are going to honk their horns. They're going to fix us, everything." Sorry, not going to fill you full. Open bullshit. I'm going to tell it like it is. Tell it like it is. Don't be afraid. Let your conscience be your guide. Whoa, tell it like it is. Rose Bell with a generous donation says, stream again tonight. I'm at work, plus the connection here sucks, missing half the stream. I will stream again tonight over on the Jake Gibson channel. I was thinking of doing a stream over here, and then I'll take a little break, and then I'll head to my backup channel, the Jake Gibson channel, and even do a stream over there tonight. So I was already thinking of doing a double stream. So make sure you're subbed to my backup Gibson. And I'm thinking after we shut down over here, I'll take a little break, and then another hour or two later, I'll do a stream over there. So I'll do another stream over on the Jake Gibson channel later tonight, just so I can make sure I get the message out there on both my channels. I'll probably cover some of the same subjects over there as well. That's what I wanted to mainly focus on because I haven't talked about the war. And so I wanted to go ahead and let everybody know that I have looked into it. The problem is everything just looks staged and phony. And even if some is real, it's hard for me to know to what degree it matters to me in my life. And how am I supposed to warn you about a war of propaganda other than to tell you that it's a war of propaganda? And what you're seeing on the TV screen or the computer screen might not be a reality at all. Jonna X with a donation says, thank you for streaming later tonight on Jake Gibson channel. Hey, no problem. Somebody's got to get this information out there. And I haven't seen any of these other supposed truther channels warning you about the DC convoy, warning you about this whole thing and what the end game is. And so I've stayed out in front of this convoy. I was out in front of the Canadian one telling you guys that that's bullshit and it's going to get shut down. And exactly what I said happened. And just as I heard rumblings that they were headed for DC, I immediately told you. So you can go back 7 days ago, a little longer, maybe. I did a stream called the next event, something like the next big event. I'll even check the date so that I have a timestamp of warning you guys. So let's see. What was the date that I warned you guys? Just so you know. 6 days ago. So 6 days ago, I put out a live stream that says the next big thing about to happen. And I told you guys specifically about this convoy headed to DC. And I was saying that if the mainstream media keeps covering it and the coverage picks up, then we'll know that this thing is definitely going to go down. Oh, and I missed a donation from DSL 1984 says, love your singing. Thank you very much, DSL 1984. I appreciate that. Did I miss any other super chats? I don't think so. Going back, making sure. No. Okay. So thank you, Rose. Yes, I'll stream later tonight. And thank you, DSL 1984, for the compliment and the donation. And thank you, Jonah. Yes, we'll see both of you later tonight over on the Jake Gibson channel. All right. Council of Nice Ears says there are horrors taking place on the ground, but it's from arming of gangs by the president. I have footage from 2 independents who are in Ukraine. Interesting. Okay, so it's smaller gangs, kind of like when there's footage of ISIS, shooting people and terrorizing people, but it's always just these little controlled, little scripted scenarios. So I remember seeing footage a long time ago when they were trying to convince us that these, Middle Eastern terrorists were going to come get us. And I remember when they were doing the ISIS psychological operation, they were trying to convince us that these guys were out there doing all the acts. And I did see some footage of what looked legit, where I remember seeing footage of dudes shooting machine guns out of their car at these other cars, and the bullet holes were actually hitting the cars, were crashing. And so it looked like I did actually watch some actual murders and some actual shootings, but how often did that go down, and how much of that footage is really out to prove that it happened a bunch of times? And so even if you do find footage that is real where somebody's getting shot or killed, well, that's just that one piece of footage. So always stuck not really knowing exactly how much carnage is really going on, especially if you're, let's say, here in the United States, where there is no bombs being dropped, there's no war happening amongst us as far as like tanks on the streets and bombs being dropped. And so whenever you watch these images, you're always stuck going, how much of that's just made for TV? How much of that's real? And of course, I auto hoax everything. So even when something is real, I'm like, this could be fake. Fire says the tank driving over car with dude inside was fake as funk. I haven't seen that one, but I'll take your word for it. Actually, I won't take your word for it. I want to see that. I want to see that video. What's it called? I haven't seen it. Spherish says no matter what you do, they will actually win because they had people held by the balls since the very beginning. Maximum 2468 says, I have a Ukrainian friend here in California. My friend left to Ukraine to fight in the volunteer army. If he stays in contact with me, I can let you know how much of it's real. Interesting. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a little bit of insider information. And that's what I was hoping to do in today's chat, is gather up a little bit of info. And any messages that I miss here live, I do go back and I watch the replay and I specifically look at every single chat that comes in. So I do go back after the streams and I read every single chat, and that is to see who's saying what about me, if any trolls snuck through and said something, and just see who's saying what. Because while I'm sitting here talking to you, I can't keep track of every single sentence over here in the chat. I can't read every single chat, and so when the whole thing is said and done, I do go back, watch the stream, not so much to watch myself, but I specifically will look at it and see who's saying what. So just in case I miss anyone's chats here live, feel bad. I will see it. I promise you, I'm gonna read every damn one. All right. So, uh, oh, Lee, that person is not. That person wasn't trolling me, Lee. I think you made a mistake deleting that. Patricia Porter says, I met my soulmate, which was my life coach, and I sent him over $1,000, and he told me I'm insane trash. Love your parody. Yeah, Lee, that person right there is talking about Spherage Gatisse, and apparently Patricia's admitting that she sent money to him, and then he called her insane and dissed her. I'm sorry that happened to you. Gatisse is an e-beggar and a scammer, and so he scams his subs and has all this drama that he so that he can then beg for money. So, for instance, he beat up his Luna, and then he said muggers beat up his girlfriend, and then he begged for money. He lost his own camera, and then he begged his subs for money. When his last girlfriend left him, he begged for money or he would kill himself. And so the dude is an absolute piece of trash and a scammer. And I apologize that he scammed you and sucks. Well, I'm not apologizing because I didn't do anything to you, but I'm sorry to hear that. I should say that that he did that to you. And I'm also sorry that my mod Lee accidentally timed you out. We all make mistakes. Sometimes I accidentally ban people or remove people by accident who are actually just making a joke or saying something about someone else, and I thought it was about me. So we all make mistakes. And so, Lee, that person's cool, bro. That's one of the people who follows my parody channel. And Lee says, "My bad." Lee's a good guy. He didn't mean to do that. we all get we get these wrong once in a while. Uh, hey, Rick rolled. No, you're not blocked anymore. I unblocked you. Rick rolled. I thought that you were. I accidentally thought that you were some like a shill, and I got confused, bro. So I went back and unblocked you. I can see your message right there, bro. You're not blocked anymore. Like I said, every once in a while, I make a mistake and I think someone calling me, but they're just making a joke or being sick. Or every once in a while, they're talking about else, and I think they're talking about me. And so, or my mods once in a while, they'll think that you're trolling me. It can be confusing. And so we all sometimes just have to take a minute, reread something, think, try not to overreact. And I'll admit, sometimes I'll overreact and ban somebody, block somebody, only to realize when I go back read the chat, like, oh shit, maybe that person wasn't trolling me. So then I have to go to the community settings and then dig up the name and then unblock the person and then apologize. But that's the type of dude I am. I admit when I'm wrong. I admit when I've made a mistake. And so if I accidentally ban or block someone, I'll be the first to say, oops, I screwed up, my bad, and apologize. There's people out there who won't give a shit. They'll just leave you blocked. Sturzing says, hi, Jake. Hi, Christian Sturzing. All right. Jenna Lovecraft Reeves says, hi. Rick Rolled says, groovy, man. Glad you're doing more lives. Yeah, I like doing live stream. I'm the type of dude that if I have 2-3 subjects, I can roll with those subjects and talk with you guys about those subjects. And before you know it, 2-3 hours will roll by. So I'm not the type of dude who's going to sit here like, what do you guys want to talk about? And just read your chats. Like I can easily run my mouth about a, and before you know it, an hour has rolled by, 2 hours has rolled by. So enjoy doing this with you guys. And for the most part, these chats and these live streams are a positive experience. So as long as it's mostly positive, and I'm getting the message out there, then we'll keep doing this. Sean Smith says, you look good today, bro. Oh, thank you. You know what I did? I went and I got me a haircut, and I shaved. So haircut and a shave. So that usually helps because my hair was getting all poofy. So I kind of looked like Butthead. Then my face was all grizzly. So just getting a haircut and just a little thing like that makes me look a little more looking, I guess. Vic Chavez says it's the Willy Wonka hat. It's not a Willy Wonka hat, okay? It's a sexy, funky, groovy, cool hat. Has nothing to do with Willy Wonka. That's just a person you thought about. Spherish says, why not grow a beard again? I liked it on you. Here's the problem. I don't mind the hair at first, but the longer it gets, the more of an issue it becomes. So then you have to take care of it and groom, keep it clean. And here's the problem. When you have a big old beard and you take a drink of milk, it leaves all this shit in your milk in your beard, and then you have to wipe it out. And then like an hour later, you can smell rotting milk in your beard. And then you get little pieces of food and crap in there. So it's this constant of having to clean your damn beard. So check this out. Like right now, easy. If I'd have had my old beard, it would be in the top and it would be in the bottom. And then I'd have to like do this. And then in an hour, there'd be like rotting milk smell in my beard. And I would have to literally take a shower to get rid of it. And then since there's hair just growing out of my face, I have this constant issue where I just touch it. So if I don't have hair growing out of my face, I don't sit here and touch my face. But the longer the beard gets, then I start messing with it. So then I'm like a crackhead, like touching and messing with my hair. So I've noticed that between the maintenance and taking care of it, shit getting caught in it, and the fact that I start messing with it and playing with it all the time, nah, it's not worth it. And the amount of women, they only think they like it. If you actually met me and smelled the rotting beard and saw how gross it looks sometimes, then you probably wouldn't like it either. I remember this one time on the Flat Earth Asshole Tour, there was this really hot chick in Chicago who we went camping, and I remember she was all like, "Yeah, if you're gonna get with me and you're gonna put your mouth on me, then you're gonna need to shave." I'm like, "Really?" And she's like, "Yeah, I don't like facial hair down there touching me." And I'm like, "Okay." It's like that's the quickest shave ever. It's like a girl's like, yeah, if you want to put your mouth on me, none of that beard crap. You're gonna need to go shave. I'm like, sure. Followed orders immediately, and it worked out well. It was a good night. All right. That was back on the Flat Earth asshole tour when everyone loved me and there were, no shills out to get me, or so I thought. That's a true story. Rick Rolled says F Pat is V. He basically flip flops. He don't like someone, then all of a sudden he's buddies with them. Oh, interesting you bring that up. You guys, serious deal here. I made a mistake. I recommend a guy. So I recommended this guy named Pat Truthner because he was putting out NFL rigged videos, and I thought he was doing a good job breaking down the NFL being rigged, and so I gave him a shout out. This dude then goes on to start making hack content once the season ends, and then decides say I'm a liar and that I lie to my audience. Pat Truthner made this hit piece about me after I gave him a shout out and supported his channel. He makes this terrible, illogical hit piece where he claims I lie to my audience and I'm a con man. So he was basically breaking down NFL videos. And then when the season ends, he started making hack content playing with nunchucks and nobody was watching him anymore. So then he decides to piece about me. And guess what his evidence is? The exact same evidence as RV Russian video. You exact same clip as Russian videos. What are the odds? Russian videos, RV Truth, the guy I just exposed as being a no good shill, a guy who's been exposed over and over again for years, not just by me, but by Magbitter Truth, Polarization Nation. If you go look up RV Truth, he's been exposed a bunch of times. Flat Earth Reset exposed the dude years ago. This dude, Pat Truthner, who I gave a shout out to, decided to do a hit piece on me. And he turned on me and he backstabbed me. So somebody who I gave a shout out to turns on me, backstabs me, and then promotes RV Truth at the same time. What are the odds? And so when I look back, I'm like, how did I find this guy? How did it happen? YouTube recommended him on my page. That's how it happened, and that's where I went wrong. Not going to happen anymore. Learn my lesson. So YouTube recommended to me this NFL rigged video. I clicked on it, thought the dude was doing some pretty good work, and I said, hey, if any of you guys used to watch football and you know it's rigged, or if you want to learn about rigged football, this guy Pat is breaking down NFL. Well, I think much didn't do an in-depth investigation into the guy's background, but now that I have, I've come to find out that the dude is an absolute hack, and he was going around to other NFL content creators who are saying that the NFL is rigged and bullying them and talking shit to them and trying to gatekeep the subject. I've come to like several hit pieces on Pat from other NFL exposed NFL rigged content creators, because they say Pat comes over to their channel and starts talking shit, saying that they shouldn't be making NFL rigged videos and that he's the OG NFL rigged guy. So here's the deal. I made a mistake. I gave a guy a shout out and he backstabbed me. I'm very angry about it. I wouldn't normally be bothered except for the fact that I gave him a shout out. So now he's got some of my subscribers listening to him. So here's what we're going to do. I'm telling you right now, unsubscribe from Pat Truth. That dude stabbed me in the back and called me a liar and a con man. If you think I'm a liar or a con man, then I don't want you here. Told his audience I'm not only a liar, but a con man. And then he went on to promote Russian videos. That right there is a big mistake. I don't think he realized who he's messing with. So if I gave this dude a shout out and you started him, I'm telling you right now, unsub from the dude. And here's the deal. If I see you playing both sides, if I see you over there after he made a hit piece about me, supporting the guy in his chat, talking shit about me, especially, just know I'm going to spot you and you will be gone. So I'm not telling you who you like, but if the only reason you ever watch the guy is because I brought him up, well, I'm telling you now, don't watch him and unsub, because the dude is a hack, a loser, and now he's looking pretty shilly because he took the exact same stance as Russian videos. And so where'd this guy come from? He was being optimized by YouTube. So a dude who was being optimized by YouTube for making NFL rig videos, that's how I accidentally clicked on him and found this dude. Well, it was an accident. It was a recommendation, and I clicked on the video. I thought he was just a regular good dude. Whoops, I was wrong. So my lesson learned, I'm not going to give any shout outs to any of these small channels anymore, especially not without doing an investigation. So something as simple as me giving a shout out to a small channel, I forget influential I can be. And so basically just me saying a dude's name will cause 200, 300, 500 people to go over and check the dude out and subscribe. And so now I'm telling you, I screwed up. I accidentally promoted somebody who I should not have. And the only way for me to make it right and make myself feel better is to tell you now that guy is a piece of shit and unsub from that dude. And again, if I see you over there playing both sides of the fence, you're not welcome here. Understand? So I know there's always somebody who's going to be like standoffish, like, oh, well, if Jake says don't go do it, then go do it. Go for it. If that's what you want to do, but you're not welcome here anymore afterwards. And if I spot you in his chats supporting him after he calls me a liar and a con man, then you're gone. Here's the deal. Have you ever been called a liar and you weren't lying? I'm sure some of you have had this happen. Someone calls you a liar, or they say that you did something that you didn't do. They accuse you of something. You ever been accused of something you didn't do? You ever been told you were lying and you weren't lying? It doesn't feel good. So imagine that time someone accused you of something you didn't do or called you a liar when you weren't lying and how it made you feel. Now imagine that you gave that person a shout out. Then they call you a liar. So the dude called me a liar and a con man. Audience. After I told him man to man, I'm not a liar. No, I didn't lie to my audience. So the guy says I went to Monterey Beach, waited for a low flying plane, said, hey, look, there's no chemtrails right when I saw a low flying plane, just so then 2 weeks later I could make a shadow ban video and tell you guys synchronicities and that maybe we live in a computer simulation of sorts. Yeah, he says I did that and to lie to you guys and that I'm a con man. He told his audience I saw the plane coming the whole time and then I lied about it. The exact same thing that Russian videos said. He used the exact same attack as Russian videos. What are the odds? And so I'm very angry about the whole thing. I'm probably going to have to make a video and expose this dude. But I'm telling you, you definitely unsub and not watch the prick after what he did to me. Christian Sturzing again. Chris Foamfoot. Foamfoot showed up earlier, said she was going to call me eventually. So Foam appeared, going to call me, and then she split. Maybe she's still here in the background somewhere. I don't know. Simon Stegny with a super chat says, "Hey Jake, how's it going? Sorry to hear about our turning against you. I know you're the real deal. Everything you say matches in reality." Here's the thing: RV didn't turn against me. RV is a well-known shill for many years. RV has been exposed over and over and just go on BitChute and type in Russian videos and just search on BitChute, and you'll find that Mag Bitter Truth exposed the shit out of them. And I'm not saying Mag Bitter Truth is 100% legit, but I will say that Mag does put out some decent info from time to time. And Mag, when he did call out RV, he absolutely destroyed him. And Polarization Nation absolutely destroyed him. Furthermore, if you go to my BitChute, you'll find the Too Hot for YouTube version. I doxed Russian videos over on my BitChute channel, but it wasn't me doing the doxing. It was an already made video. So somebody, Polarization Nation, doxed him, and so I basically just re-uploaded Polarization Nation's video, which it exposes Ben Lyashenko. His name is Ben Lyashenko, and it, like he's a straight up government agent and has been for years. And he's trying to rebrand his channel as RV Truth. So he's basically a flat Earth Christian gatekeeper shill at this point. And he even went on Patty Steer's show. You know, Patty Steer, the Transformer who drinks her own piss. Yeah, that one. So he went on Patty Steer's show and he said Patty was his intention to go vegan. I found the old footage, you guys. Flat Earth Reset has the old footage of RV going on Patty's show where they talk about how wonderful it is to be vegan. And Patty, looking like an transformer, of course, she drinks her own piss. And so you have piss drinking Patty, and you got RV yucking it up and for a couple hours straight, kissing each other's ass. So at any point, all I have to do is go grab that video and show it to you guys. But if you want to go watch it, go over to Flat Earth Reset's channel and find it. So I have the video of RV hanging out with Patty, talking about how wonderful it is to be vegan. And anybody who knows anything about health knows that the vegan diet is the NWO diet. Master of Cheese says, "Bro, this is laggy as hell. Hey, I apologize. I don't have the best internet connection in here in the office, so we deal with what we can. We just roll with it. Sometimes it gets super glitchy and it shuts off, so you're just gonna have to roll with this." Rick Rolled says, "At least you admit your own mistake, Jake. Basically, don't like people that because they don't agree with these shills eventually show their true colors. So bye bye, RV. RV has been doing this for years. He is a professional shill bag. He's literally done this exact same routine over and over again. Hey guys, I didn't want to have to make this video, but after today, people are going to be jumping off this guy's bandwagon. And here you have the number 33. And this guy's a Mason because he smiled. I mean, come on, give me a break." And so basically, he called me a Mason because I wore the number 33 when I used to play junior varsity football. He called me a Mason with zero proof. Go find proof of me being a Mason. And if you don't have any, except the fact for 33 when I was in ninth grade for one season when I played junior varsity football, You have no proof. So he basically tells his audience, I'm a Mason with zero proof. And RV's absolutely followers are like, you expect him so good, God, 33. He's a Mason confirmed. Thank you, RV. I love you, RV. So when I see the retards, these people, it never is to amaze me just how absolutely mind fucked and mind controlled people can be by anyone on the internet just telling them anything. People that were buying into Pat's bullshit when he's a liar and a con man, there were people who follow my channel who were like, really? Oh, Pat, thanks for letting us know. It's like, dude, you wouldn't know about Pat if it wasn't for me telling you about him. Turning on me. So the whole thing, here's the deal. RV is a school OG shill who's been around for years. So I expect guys like him to make videos about me. I expect it. Just like I expect a guy like Simon Dan to make a video about me. I expect a guy like Fight the Flat Earth Craig to make a video about me. I've had outside of dudes like Neil deGrasse or Bill Nye, they don't make a video about me, but basically all the professional globe cucks like Simon Dan and Mick Toon and all these losers, these globe cucks, they've all made videos about me. So I'm no stranger to having people make videos about me. In fact, how it lets me know I'm over the target. It lets me know there's all these gatekeepers and all these shills here to protect the subject of the earth and where we live. It's the most gate-kept subject that there is, really. This earth and where we live. The amount of agents and protection in place to keep us from having a serious conversation about the shape of the amount of money that they have put into it is absolutely mind-blowing. The amount of money and time they've put into shutting me up and discrediting me is absolutely over and over again. Out of all the people they can pick, all the subjects they can talk about, Jake the asshole. That's what they want to talk about. Sean Smith says, Pat, who? Bro, you are real. That's why I watch you. Of course I'm real, and I've proven myself to be the dude on here time and time and time again. And so here's what makes me so angry about getting burned by Pat is that I gave him a shout out. And I thought the dude was kind of my friend. I've never met him, but I talked to him on the phone. We had phone conversations. I even instructed how to beat copyright strikes. His channel was getting hit with copyright strikes, and I gave him instructions on how to beat copyright strikes and what to say to beat the copyright strike using the definition of fair use. And so I instructed Pat how to beat these copyright, gave him a shot. What does he do? Turns around and stabs me in the back. Well, he's going to get his. He's going to get his payback. I'm going to make a standalone video about it, and I'll show you guys just exactly what he. But basically, this dude Pat is a absolute piece of shit, and he's going to get what's coming to him. Somebody's Pat's from Chainsaw Massacre. You're stupid, dude. I'm just reading some comments. I'm noticing there's some trolls who are sneaking by saying shit. Hey, mods, you want to keep an eye on what people are saying. I'm noticing a few trolls slipping by, just straight up talking shit. Oh, this is what I wanted to bring up about Pat Truthner. So he calls himself Pat Truthner. That's not his name, of course. It's a made up name. I use my real name, Jake Gibson, right? So this is the Jake the Asshole channel, but you guys know my real name. It's Jake Gibson. I am Jacob Gibson. That is my name. I dedicated my life to truth, and this is my mission. This is what I do, and I've been doing it for years. So Pat, what's up, Pat Truthner? He's unemployed. He's a loser. His wife does all the working. His wife wears behind, and see, didn't have to break down me a liar. I have a problem with that. Call me a con man. Yeah, I got a problem with that. And then at the same time, you cross promote a shill like RV. Subject he call as a liar video. RV. And so let's just say if I ever came across Pat, we're gonna wait while the glitching stops. So these guys, they show up to distract me, discredit me, but that's not going to work. They keep showing up to distract me, discredit me. I truly believe a guy like RV shows up, makes a video about me in order to distract me from telling you about what's really going on. And then he steals my content, repackages it, and uses it as his own. Russian Videos has been stealing my content, repackaging it, using it as his own, and then he tells his audience that I steal his shit. So he stole my flat earth proof recently. So I posted a flat earth proof of Toronto skyline, and then he posts the Toronto skyline. I posted a video about Bob Saget being a perv, and then he posts a video about Bob Saget. I posted videos about this convoy being a psychological operation, and then he posts a video about the convoy that's only 1 minute long. And what does he do? Illuminati card game. That's all he's got, the Illuminati card game. Jenna was not making a bet. Okay, I'm noticing people are getting timed out who aren't making bad comments. So if anyone calls me Spearage or Gatis, they're talking about my parody channel. And so that person who just got put in timeout, Jenna Toll 69 says, "What's up, Gatis?" She's not trolling me. So the girl who said, "What's up, Gatis?" I think she was here from my parody channel where I make fun of Spearage Gatis. So if anyone says anything about Spearage or Gatis, they're probably fans of my parody channel where I make fun of Spearage Gatis. So please don't time anyone out unless they're trolling me specifically. So if they say like Jake is insane, Jake's on drugs, or Jake's a liar, that's definitely trolling. But if somebody says like hi Gatis, or makes a joke about Spearage Gatis, that's from my parody channel. So again, I know people make mistakes, but I'm looking in the chat and I'm seeing people getting timed out and removed for stuff that's not actually bad. So Jonna X, you got that one wrong. Jenna was not trolling me. It's a confusing game sometimes to figure out who's saying what and who's trolling me and who's not. So that's why I'm saying make good and sure of what people are saying before you time people out, because I have a parody channel where I make fun of a dude. And so if they say hi Spearage, hi Gatis, anything to parody channel, it's all in love and good fun. They're not trolling me. Okay. Let's see. DSL 1984 with a donation says you're back. Yeah, I guess I glitched out for a minute there. It happens. It happens. Thanks for the donation. I appreciate that. Yeah, it sucks that it glitched out. Sometimes we'll get on a roll and it'll be going good, and then out of nowhere, they'll just start glitching it out. Beware the Locust said that hat as boss would have been great back in 70s high school. Yeah, I never wore anything like this in high school. In fact, I didn't have the self-confidence to show up with this on. I'd be too afraid that the other kids would have made fun of me. So now, of course, I have the supreme confidence that I'll wear this hat anywhere, anytime. All right. So before I forget, I have this design right here. And if you want this design, I've actually upgraded the design and I've made the text even bigger. And so I have this design for sale on my site. You can pick up this shirt for only 20 bucks. This is my one of a kind custom design. And it's only 20 bucks for the shirt. And I also have a hoodie and stuff like that. So if you want this design right here, it is my own personal design. And the updated one, the updated version has bigger text, bolder, bigger text. So this is the prototype, we'll say. And if you want the new version, it looks even better than this one. So the new version of the shirt looks even better with bigger, bolder text. So I'm going to go, the link is in the description, and I'm going to go ahead and post it in the chat as well. Let me go ahead and grab the link for you. And again, this is my own custom design. You won't find this one anywhere else unless somebody rips it off of me, of course. Oh, where's it at? Here it is. Earth Rona shirt. All right, so I'm going to put the link in the chat for the shirt. If you want one of these, again, it's only 20 bucks. It comes in every color except for white. So every color except for white, because the writing is white. So any color you want, red, green, whatever. I've got all the colors available. In the like I said, the writing is even more bold, and it looks even better than this one. All right. So the link there is down below in the description and in the chat, whichever side it is for you. It's over in the chat. All right. Florida Todd says 2 questions. Where is Rusty? And no more casino footage. Rusty is right here. Rusty, come on. We'll hook him up. We'll hook him up with a hot dog. That'll get him up. He's over here sleeping. Rusty, hey, hot dog. My hot dog, Rusty. Oh, he sees it. You want a hot dog? My hot dogs. Come here. Come here. Good boy. Got him. There he is. Num, num, num. Rusty eats as a hot dog. Hot dogs, Armor hot dogs. What kind of dogs like Armor hot dogs? Fat dogs, skinny dogs, dogs that climb on rocks. Tough dogs, sissy dogs, even dogs with chicken pox love hot dogs. Armor hot dogs. The dogs love to bite. All right. Isn't that the cutest damn dog? Look, Rusty. Look. Oh, what's going on? What's over here? What's this? What's there? Look at that. What's it? What's over here? Look over here. I have the cutest dog. All right. There you go. There's Rusty. Joe Pan says, "Happy on." Well, here's the thing. In fact, come back. I have a dog joke about Rusty. Everyone always asks what breed he is, and hey, well, you see, there was a giant dog orgy, a big giant dog orgy, and there was like, I don't know, 20, 30 really good dogs, all the best kinds that you can think of. And Rusty is the end result from that dog orgy. So he's like 20, 30 awesome dogs combined into one. So whatever breed you think he looks like, I just go, yep, he's part that too. So whenever someone's like, oh, he looks like he's part Papillon, and he also looks, like he could be this kind of terrier or this or that, I'm always like, yep, probably is. It was a big giant dog orgy. All the best dogs were there to create my wonderful Rusty. Excuse me. JK Grunge says, Rusty is so innocent looking. Well, he is innocent. He's never done anything wrong. He's never scammed anyone, never beat up a woman, doesn't lie to people. Rusty's a good damn dog. The goodest damn dog I ever had. I've had some other good dogs, but he is the best damn dog I've ever had. Got it. Speaking of Rusty, Jonna X with a donation says, here's Rusty hot fund. Well, thanks. I don't always give hot dogs because they're not really that good for him, but he absolutely loves them, and they are cheap, and so from time to time I'll just have a package so that I can give him a little treat from time to time. But I don't like to feed him too many hot dogs because they aren't the best thing to give a dog. It's better to just give your dog raw meat. So typically I'll give him ground beef. But he doesn't seem to go as crazy. His ears don't perk up the same way as for a hot. So for whatever reason, his ears perk up and he gets all excited over the hot dog. So I give it to him as a little treat once in a while. Rick Rold says, Rusty has been with you a long time, man, since you came on the scene. Yeah, I've had him for a while. Yep. And he still looks good. He's still in good shape. He's not like all, old and decrepit yet. So he's still getting around. We go on walks every day. So just took him out for a walk before I went live. Went over to the park, walked him. Only thing I got to keep an eye on is sometimes he'll want to eat some gross stuff, which makes his cute meter go down. Like he's the cutest damn dog, but then if he eats a cat turd, then it's like, now you're no longer cute. Stay away from me. You're gross. So he goes from being the cutest dog in the world the minute he eats a cat turd. Then it's like, ew, you're gross. Why did you, Rusty? Why? Anyone who's ever an awesome, cute dog, for whatever reason, they want to find and eat. It's the weirdest thing. Doesn't make any sense. No matter how much meat you feed them, no matter how well fed your dog is, they'll find something gross or and eat it, and you'll be like, what? Why? I feed you ground beef and hot dogs, and you're gonna like find some crusty cat turd in the bushes? Joe Pan says he needs raw eggs. I do give him raw eggs from time to time. And I give him some raw milk too. So he gets a good mix of food. Rusty's spoiled. Rusty, as far as this diet goes, Rusty's in that top percentage of dogs that eats very well. Beware of the locust said, need a Rusty shirt. A Rusty shirt. I haven't thought about that. You know what? Just for shits and giggles, I might do that just to pay homage to the dog. Best damn dog I ever had. Why not? And he's a character here that people love. And so there's always somebody bringing up Rusty in every stream. So he's a character here that is part of the asshole show or the asshole stream. Every bit as important as me. Jake the asshole. Dogs sometimes need to get searching for food so they have satisfaction of finding it. That's a good way of putting it. That actually makes sense. That actually makes a lot of sense. Why would my dog, who's well fed, be trying to dig up a cat turd in the bush? It's because he's doing his natural hunting that his breed would be, and then getting the satisfaction of finding something. So yeah, that actually makes sense. Good comment. Good comment. Genital 9 says cute doggy. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Jen it says, is he Jack Russell? Yeah, there was a Jack Russell at the dog orgy. At the giant dog orgy, which created Rusty, every type of good dog that you can imagine was there, including Jack Russell. Genital 69 says Rusty wants more hot dogs. The problem is Rusty will eat as many hot dogs as I give him, and then he'll start whining, and then he'll throw them up, and then he'll re-eat them. That's what will happen. If I overfeed him, he'll start whining because his stomach is hurting, and then he'll throw it up, and then he'll realize that he's got hot dogs sitting in front of him, and so then he'll re-eat his thrown up hot dogs. That's the type of gross shit that dogs do. So you learn how much over time, you learn how much your dog can handle, and you learn not to push their threshold because all they're going to do is just throw back up anyway. Ephesians 6:12. I hope I'm saying that right. Ephesians 6:12 says, "A only creature that loves you more than itself." You know what? I never thought of it like that. The only creature that loves you more than itself. That's pretty much seems close to the truth. Yeah. I mean, I can't say how much Rusty loves himself. There's no way for me to know Rusty loves himself, but I do know he's a great damn dog and as good of a companion as you could ever ask for. Quiet, well behaved, good with other dogs, good with people. I can let him off leash, and he's pretty good. Sometimes the only time he doesn't listen to me is if he sees another animal. And so that's the only time he doesn't listen to my verbal cues, is if he sees like a squirrel, he's going after it. So I don't have him completely trained at all moments. If I let him off the leash and he sees like a squirrel, he's gonna chase after it no matter what I say. So I have to be careful, like if I let him off the leash, because if other animals, then he won't listen to me. But as long as there's not other animals around, he's pretty much a great dog, and will stick by my side. And like I said, he's good with other dogs, good with humans. But if he spots like a squirrel or a cat, then he wants to go after it. It's in his genetics to like chase it. And then it's funny because there's some animals that he doesn't care. So like I took him to the park, and there were these wild turkeys walking by, big ass wild turkeys walking by, or they were like, maybe they were tame turkeys, I don't know. But there was like a flock of turkeys here. And then I took him to this other park, and there was a pond and ducks, and he totally didn't care about the duck. He walks right by the ducks and he doesn't even look at them, doesn't give a shit about the ducks. But then if he sees a squirrel, he's like, "Oh, I have to get that squirrel," and he'll chase right after it. If he's on the and damn near hang himself. So it's weird how he sees a squirrel and he's like, "I have to go after that." But then if we walk by a duck or a turkey, it's like he doesn't care. So it's weird he can distinguish the difference between like a bird and like a squirrel or a cat. So there's certain animals that the ears will go up and he's like, I need to chase this. And then there's other animals, he doesn't even look at it, doesn't even care. It's strange. He's such a strange dog. At the same time, he's the most awesome dog I've ever had. Michael H says, yeah, he goes for the rodents. He was bred for it. Yeah, that makes sense. But I would figure at the same time, like a duck that's 2 feet away, he would at least go over and want to smell it. But no, he didn't even want to go mess with the duck. Almost like he knew that the ducks and the turkey would kick his ass. And so he didn't bother even going over to smell him. Anyway, so let me go ahead and reset this thing now that we're no longer buffering and glitching. Let me reset this. So this title of the stream, we were talking about the war with Russia and Ukraine, and I was saying that if you're looking into researching this thing, you're always going to be watching videos of what's happening on a screen. Then you're always going to have to ask yourself how much of that's real, how much of it's staged. And it looks like this war is more than ever before. And so when you look at old school wars where people were getting blown up and shot up, for real, now you have to wonder how many people are really dying. This war is real. How much of it's just propaganda based, just images on TV. And so they can control your mind and control your narrative, make you think it's this country versus that country, when really it's the bankers who are financing the whole damn thing. And if they didn't want war, then there wouldn't be war. So if the elites, the bankers finance the thing, if they want war, well, that's the reason that there is war. So you have to look at the whole planning and the whole control system set up around the war rather than war itself. And so my research has always led back to war being financed by bankers. And then when the bill comes due, the taxpayers of the countries involved in the war have to foot that bill, interest, and all that money gets funneled back to the ones who finance. And then what you're left with is a war-torn country. And what do? They bring in more government, more regulations, more law. So what you're left with is more power for the government, less power for the people. So I want to make sure I repeat that for anybody who missed it in the beginning. War seems to be manufactured, and it seems to be faker than ever. And why wouldn't it be? The more fake you make the war, well, the less
actual money you have to spend on it, right? You can trick as many people as possible. So whenever I'm trying to do research on something like, let's say, this war, I find myself wondering, how am I even going to go research this? How am I even going to go about researching this? As a true researcher, what am I going to do? Stream media propaganda about the war? I know that's going to be bullshit. So I might watch one propaganda mainstream media piece going into it knowing it's going to be bullshit just to see what they say, just to see if there's 5% of truth mixed in there, 95% of bullshit. So you watch a mainstream media clip, whether it be from ABC, NBC, CNN, that you're going to be getting 95% to 99% pure bullshit. You'd be lucky if there's maybe 5% truth mixed in there. And then you go over to BitChute, and even that's got controlled shit and fake videos. And so, if you're trying to research this war, you'll find yourself in the predicament of wondering what to even look for, find anything legit and credible. And then once you're sitting there watching it on the screen, let's say you see a building blow up or a car blow up. I've seen building cars blow up in movies my whole life. How much do I want to put in? How much stock do I want to put into that being real? TSA says, I give a thumbs up for what you've said. The real war is not that cheap like fake war. Yeah. So they can basically manufacture this war for cheap, but still have the bill be really high for us tax citizens who have to foot that bill. Right? And then all the money's funneled back to the bankers plus interest. So the banks get to what? Create the fake money out of and then the actual hard work is done by you, the people, right? To make that money, you have to go to work, actually work your hours, your physical time to make that money. And then that money then taxes taken out, just stolen from. And that money's funneled back to the guys who printed it all out of thin air in the first place. So basically, as I stated, if you go look into, well, who's funding it all and why did it happen, it goes back to families like the Rothschilds. And there's famous phrases like, oh, if the Rothschilds did not want war, then there wouldn't be war. Right? Was it one of the like Rothschild's mother was like, if my son didn't want war, then there wouldn't be any. So basically, if the Rothschilds want war, there is war. So war, well, as I'm told, it's the most profitable event that you can have if you're a banker. You make the most through war because there's a whole lot of money spent in times of war. So if they can convince the public there's a war going on, and basically keep it as cheap as possible while convincing everybody it's as expensive as it's ever been, well, there's a whole lot of money to be stolen and laundered in there. So you convince the public that the whole thing's super expensive. Meanwhile, the whole thing is cheap, like Kool-Aid. So imagine taking some Kool-Aid and convincing people it's a $1,000 bottle of wine. That's what you got going on here. You got manufactured war being put out to the public as legitimate war. They're taking Kool-Aid, right? Trying to sell you on it being a $1,000 bottle of wine. Dragonfire says, I never liked Kool-Aid. Me neither. I only drink it when I was a kid because my stupid parents would buy it sometimes. When I look back at all the stupid grits that they bought me when I was a kid, I could slap them. In fact, I feel like I'd have been way more muscular and way taller if my parents would have fed me properly. But instead, my mom bought a bunch of crap when I was a little kid. Stupid ass mom fed me a bunch of crap. JK Grunge says, I know, right? Lots of going on. Yeah, my channel's shadow banned. Right now, what YouTube is doing, they're squeezing little channels out of the game. And here's how they do it. They take subs from you no matter what you post. And I've noticed no matter what type of video I post, YouTube will take my subs away. And then if I sit still and don't post anything, then they'll give me some subs back. It's like they're trying to incentivize me to not post content. And then whenever I post content, they steal my subs away. And I know they're stealing my subs, and people aren't just unsubbing because I've been told by people that they've been unsubbed 3 times, 4 times. I had a dude named Sean Sweeney earlier yesterday, either today or yesterday, can't remember. He told me he's been unsubbed 3 times in the last week from my channel. 3 times last week. There's no reason for him to lie about that. So people aren't going to lie about them being unsubbed from my channel. And so here's the deal. I know that people aren't choosing to all unsub from me the second that I go live. But the second that I go live, YouTube will peel 40, 50 subs off my channel. And then if I sit still for a day and don't post anything, they'll give me 20, 30 of them back. It's obvious what they're doing. And I found out it's not just happening to me, it's happening to all little channels basically across the line. And so what they're doing to smaller channels who they're trying to squeeze out of the game is they're stealing your sub and they're down throttling your views. And so if you're talking about something that they don't want you to talk about, they'll down throttle your views. So I've seen channels with hundreds of thousands of subs get their views cut down to lower than mine. So I saw a gardening channel that was getting 50,000 views every video, and they had 300,000 subs. They mentioned C19 once in a title, and YouTube cut their viewership in half. They mentioned the word quarantine, getting 5,000 on a channel with 300,000 subscribers. So what happened? Are 290,000 people just deciding they don't want to watch anymore? Bullshit. So they're not just squeezing out guys like me. Any mentions C19 in a title, any wrong demonetized word in a title, that can be the day that your channel gets shadow banned, and they'll immediately tackle by removing your subs, removing your viewership. Do that, they keep new people from showing up and finding you, so you won't get any new growth. And then they stop notifying your subs. So their subs won't get a notification. So if your existing fan base doesn't get notified, that is the only way they're going to find your video is if they go to your channel specifically to see if you put up a new video. So the amount of you who come here and specifically check to see if I put up a new video, yeah, that's only going to be a few thousand. So that's how they tax a channel, and they basically cut your viewership is they don't put you in the search results. They put you to any new viewers, and then they stop notifying your existing viewers. It's that simple. And I'm not sitting here just trying to bitch about it, but that's what they're doing. And so what they're doing is they're squeezing out real channels because YouTube has been bought out by the giant corporations. And so what they're going to do is they're going to promote mainstream media channels. You're seeing more and more NBC News, CNN news clips here on YouTube. So minimizing mainstream media, and they're cutting out little guys and regular channels. And it's not just conspiracy channels, it's anybody mentions a subject they don't want you talking about. They'll cut your viewership right down that fast. And once they got you shadow banned, you can't do anything about it. You'd have to a whole new channel and rebrand. For instance, asshole is demonetized. The word asshole is a word. You're not going to get ads on your video, or as many ads, if you have the word asshole in your title. So Of course, if you're a Globe channel and you're making fun of me, then it's allowed. But just the word asshole alone is demonetized. So I would basically have to like brand my entire uh, account in order to maybe get unshadow banned. And even then, there's no guarantee. TSA says I got shadow banned and couldn't post any comments on my first channel because I debated flat Earth with globies. Yeah, see, here's the deal. They play by different rules. They're optimized. A globe earther, a globe cuck channel, can make a video with flat Earth in the title and make a video against me, Jake the asshole, and they can be like, flat earther Jake the asshole is a science denier. They'll get optimized by YouTube. That video right there with that title, Jake the asshole, crazy flat earther is a science denier. Let's say that title will get optimized and pushed by YouTube. If I make a video about flat earth, they will absolutely bury it. And the only people who will find it are my most hardcore subscribers. And then some of my subscribers who may not show up today, well, they might not even find it because they won't get notified at all. That's how quick and easy they control this game. And so I've seen channels that when they name drop me, they get way more views than usual. And then they go back to talking about other shit and they don't get as many views as when they talk about me. So the Globe Cuck channels I've seen get hundreds of thousands of views talking about me, more so than their other fucking videos that they make. So there's something about trolling me. If you're a Globe Cuck channel, you can get away with it. But if I use the same words, flat Earth, I get nothing anymore. So it used to be YouTube optimized flat Earth. So if you were to make a video back in 2015 with flat Earth in the title, YouTube would optimize. You would actually get new people watching you. So when I first started in 2016, I was getting optimized whenever I made a flat Earth video, and people were finding my flat Earth content, new people, and the channel, what happened? It grew. And then what happens when they shut down the flat Earth traction? Oh, you stop growing. So now the only videos with flat Earth in the title that get any traction are shill channels or Globe Cut making fun of it. So if anyone says research flat Earth, go type flat Earth into the search engine. It's going to be nothing but hit piece, hit piece, hit piece, hit piece, hit piece. You guys have probably figured that out right now. If you type flat Earth into the search bar up there, the first thing that'll come up as a hit piece, the second thing that comes up as a hit piece. Basically, you'd have to scroll for days before you find any actual pro flat Earth content. And I'll bet you it'll probably be some AE pizza pie map debunk crap anyway. For you to find any good, legitimate flat Earth content nowadays is damn near impossible. You really have to know what you're looking for and dig through a bunch of bullshit. And who has the time to do that? Not a lot of people. S Forge says, with a donation, says, same thing happened to Logos. Have you heard that truth or change? I have never heard of Asha Logos. I'll be perfectly honest. I've never heard of that channel. But here's the deal. I did extensive research into shadow banning and YouTube specifically shadow banning people recently. And so right now, currently, all the smaller channels talking about stuff that YouTube doesn't like taxed through subs. So what they're trying is demotivate so that you don't want to do this anymore. And they're demonetizing channels, of course, so that they don't have to pay you. Because if you play by all their rules and you're an independent, let's say, comedian like myself, they don't like guys like me gaining traction through their system. Since they set it all up, they don't like guys like me exposing the truth and getting paid at the same time. They have all their gatekeepers and shills in place to do that. So they'll systematically try and squeeze me out by just cutting my views. But they like to also keep me around because all the shill channels call me out and make hit piece me, and I get super chat donations and stuff. And so since they're making money, they That's the only reason I think my channel doesn't get completely wiped out, is because I generate views and money for the platform. So around. That's my thoughts. But they don't incentivize me enough to where I'm properly motivated. They try to kill my motivation and bury me. So let's say if Simon Dan was to make a video about me, he'll get 100,000, 200,000 views, and all he has to do is be like, "Flat Earth asshole, Jake the asshole, is experiencing personal incredulity. Personal incredulity." That's all he has to say, and all his subs will be like, "Yay, personal incredulity! Yay, you debunked him!" And then they'll kiss his ass, hit the thumbs up button, throw all their money at him, and then meanwhile, I'll be like, "Oh, okay, I'll make a video against Simon Dan, and I'll debunk his bullshit, and then I'll get 5,000 views." So I've seen these Globe Cuck channels get optimized, and they have I've seen them even have ads, not just ads, but a product placement to where they have a specific product that they're selling. So they'll do an entire commercial in the middle of their own stream against me. Like, "Oh, I want to sell you some Raycon earbuds. Raycon earbuds are the best earbuds in the world. And if you buy my Raycon earbuds, you'll get 10% off in this promo code down below." So they have paid full-on advertisement. Like they're getting like a check to do a commercial in their hit piece about Jake the asshole. I've seen it. I've seen Simon Dan get 100,000, 200,000 views, do a Raycon earbuds commercial in the middle of his hit piece about me. And I'm thinking to myself, I never got offered a fucking earphones contract. They never said to me like, "Hey, I'll give you $1,000 if you mention earbud." None of these companies have ever came to me and asked me to do product placement. So why is it these Globe Cuck shills are getting these offers? So apparently these Globe Cuck shills these offers for thousands of dollars to do product placement in their streams. So you'll see a guy doing a piece on Jake the asshole, stop in the middle of his hit piece and sell you some fucking earbuds or a video game application. "Download this video game, War Worlds, and you can be a dragon and you can slay demons." All right, now back to debunking Jake the asshole. What? Dude, I don't have any product placement like that. I made my own shirt. I sell my own shirt, but I don't get $1,000 check from a company to do a goddamn. So when I see some of these channels who get A, optimized, B, have their product placement from a giant corporation, you have exactly how much they're getting paid to do all this. And it's a lot. So if there's a such thing as professional Globe Cuck, and it pays a hell of a lot more than being an actual truther, well, then there's never going to be any stopping some from doing a job like that. And there's plenty of shitbags out there, plenty of shitbags who will do anything for a paycheck. Look at riot cops. Look at the riot police. The riot police will spray you in the club you with a baton as long as they're getting a check. They don't care. So there's always someone out there, as long as they're getting a check, they'll deceive you. They'll slit their grandma's throat for a check. Okay, now someone says I don't have sound. Yeah, so the stream's getting messed with. If you don't have sound, restart your stream. I'll put it in chat. Okay. If no sound, restart the stream. Yeah, my channel gets messed with all the time, and it isn't just because I don't have a super strong internet connection. My internet connection here is not the best, but still, I get throttled whenever I talk about key subjects. Down throttled. I'll start glitching out. And we've seen this happen before. We've seen this happen before, and it's not just this internet connection. I've had good internet connection. Like I remember streaming from my van and having awesome internet connection, like full strong internet connection, Wi-Fi that I was using. And still, when I get to certain key subjects, they'll instantly start making me glitch and cut me out. They'll cut out certain words. It's just part of the game. But as long as I'm on here talking for hours, I'm gonna get most of my message out there, one way or the other. One way or the other, I'm going to get my message out there. TSE says, Vic the asshole, sound is there, but stuttery sometimes. I do apologize. I'm doing the best I can. In the future, I might be looking into a different office, or I might have to go to an area where I know I'm going to have better Wi-Fi. This office has got not the best internet connection, so we just got to deal with it while we can. And in the future, into getting that taken care of. Just another thing I got to fix and deal with. S Forge with a donation says, I think you'd appreciate the content on that channel, Jake Asha Logos. I'm very curious to know what your take on it is. The way the shorter vids give vital content to the longer ones. Well, I do a mix of both. So I'll put out videos that are 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 15 minutes. It all just depends. And then when I do these live streams, I generally will go between 2 and 3 hours. I start getting burnt out. So I don't want to burn you guys out and have super duper extra long streams. Also know that some of you guys are working, or you have, long car rides or whatever. And so these 2-hour streams, you can listen in the background. And so I know a lot of you guys like these streams. Some of you guys say it's your favorite part. And the people that don't have time to listen to a 2-hour, 3-hour stream. And so they appreciate the shorter vids. So I make both shorter vids and live streams that are long to give everybody what they want as best I can. I try and please everybody with my content as far as making truth content. I try and cover different subjects. I can't cover every subject. There's only so much time there's only so much time I want to spend looking into these subjects as it is. So I do try and cover various different subjects so that I'm not a one pony. There's a lot of channels out there, one trick ponies. They only cover one subject. They only do one over and over and over and over. And I definitely don't want to do that. But that seems to be YouTube wants. YouTube wants channels to just create content so that they can basically feed that content to a certain group of viewers. So it comes along, makes 10 different kinds of videos, and YouTube's like, screw you. We're not optimizing you. Just bury you. But I have a loyal subscriber base who's watching me no matter what they do. And I'll be here giving it to you guys as straight as I can from the bottom of my heart, as long as they're still good here watching. Can't Cross Antarctica, my homie. What's up, Brian? Says, all good. You don't have to. Wait, did I miss something that you said? Oh, Can't Cross Antarctica said, you do a product placement for 10athletes.com. Come on. Oh, all right. This guy right here, Can't Cross Antarctica. We are friends. This is somebody I've met in person, and I know, pretty sure, isn't going to backstab me. So I can give him a shout out, and I'm pretty confident he's not going to backstab me. I've hung out at this guy's place. He's met me and Rusty on more than one occasion, and he's been an absolute solid friend. And we've had some real good times hanging out. So I appreciate the donations, Brian. And I'll give you a shout out. He has a website that he created, application that he created, and he put a ton of time and effort into it, called 10athletes.com. And it's an app where you let's say have a game of basketball one-on-one with your friend. You can log in the result and actually keep a tab of wins and losses. So if you play table tennis with your friends, you can keep a tab of wins and losses through his app, and actually keeps track of stats. Whether you play, no matter what game you play, he pretty much has it in his app. So if you go to the park and you shoot hoops or play basketball, if you like I said, play darts or pool, table tennis, whatever game you pretty much play, he has it in his app, and you basically log your own stats and your wins and losses with your friends, and you're able to keep track of all the win percentage, and it's also you can keep track of who's in the app, and a really cool idea, and I hope that he does well with it. It's all about getting out there and playing games with your friends, basically. So if you just go, let's say, shoot a game of pool with your buddies, and you want to log in who won and lost, it'll keep track. And so let's say over the year you play 20 different pool games. Now you'll actually have a record of how many wins and losses, and it keeps track of everyone in the area. And so imagine a database of everyone, let's say in your hometown, and who plays pool, and what their record is. And so he basically wants to grow this app, and it's a good idea, and it's all about getting people out there playing games and having fun. And there's nothing about it that seems evil or deceptive to me. So I have no problem giving this dude a shout out. He bought me off for a $10 donation. No, there's a friend of he's me drinks. He's bought me dinner. He's a solid dude, this guy. And so, Brian, I appreciate the donations, bro. And we'll have to hang out. He said, "Thanks, man. You didn't have to. Thanks." Hey, no, dude, you're a friend of mine, and you've never once burned me or backstabbed me. And the complete opposite. You've been a true friend to me over and over again. And so, and then you're here donating, dude. I got no problem giving you a plug. Flip Flat says, "Can't cross Antarctica. I was your one and only viewer on your very first live about a year and a half ago." Yeah, Brian does live streams too. He usually goes back and deletes them because he talks about controversial stuff, and he doesn't want to get strikes and stuff. So sometimes he'll talk about some controversial stuff, and then he doesn't want it to get striked or whatever. So he goes back and just deletes his stuff sometimes afterwards. But yeah, you'll have to start firing up some live streams, bro. I'll have to bring you in the office and we'll stream together, maybe. Can't cross Antarctica with another donation. Oh my God, it's being so nice today. Says explained it perfectly, exactly. Yeah, so here's what happened with his app. He's like, "Hey Jake, let's go play some pool. Let's play some darts." I'm like, "Okay." And I don't practice playing pool, and I don't practice throwing darts. I was pretty sure he was gonna just beat my ass, and I came close to beating him in darts, but he beat me like 4 games in a row. And then we played some pool, and he beat me like 3 games in a row. So he basically beat me like 7 times in a row at darts and pool. And so I think on his app I'm like 0-7. I have like a 0% winning percentage. So I'm listed as like the worst guy on his app at playing pool and darts because I won 0 games. So he's like, "Jake, here, download my app, and then we can put in we can put in your," like, "Oh, you're gonna make me download your app." He's like, "Here, put in your name, put in your information. Here, create your user." He makes me create a user profile after he just beat my ass in pool and darts. And so yeah, I'm like 0-7, the biggest fucking dart and pool loser in town right now. So I need to find someone who sucks at pool so that I can get my win percentage up. So if you suck at pool, and you live in the Sacramento area, please let me beat you so that I can log in a victory on the athletes app. What's calling it 10.com. Yeah. So right now I'm like 0-7. I'm winless. I got my ass beat in darts and pool. So I'm looking for my first ever win. Rob Gunn says, Jake, just play Rusty. I can't bring Rusty inside the pool hall. I don't think. He can't hold the stick. No, I need someone to actually play the game and lose. See, I used to, when I would take girls on dates, sometimes I'd take them to go play pool. And most girls suck at pool. And so I could usually beat a girl who sucks at pool. But as far as men who practice pool, they just beat my ass. He gave me another donation agreeing with me that he kicked my ass. He says, pretty much. Thanks for the $10 donation for agreeing with me that you beat my ass at pool. I never had anyone give me $10 for beating my ass at pool. Thanks, bro. How about you keep giving me $10 and I'll keep talking about how you kicked my ass at pool. This is my new job. I talk about getting my ass kicked at pool. He gives me $10. That's my job. That's what I do for a living. I admit that I got beat at pool. Hey, man, what do you do for a living? I get my ass kicked at billiards, and then I tell people online that I got my ass kicked, and then the dude who kicked my ass at billiards, he gives me, well, that's a cool job. How did you end up doing that? Well, I met a dude, and then he created an app, and then he kicked my ass, and then I talked about it, and then he gave me some money. Somebody got timed out. Somebody said something bad. What happened? What did he say? Let me go back and read it. Oh, that's no good. Lux Serpentis says, I'm glad that you are alone. Okay, you're glad that I'm alone. Well, I always do my streams pretty much alone. I generally don't do my streams with other people. In fact, people would complain when I would do my stream with someone else. Like, for instance, when I used to stream with Thomas every once in a while, he would act like a fucking idiot. And people would tell me that they don't like Thomas and that I should ditch him. And so eventually I found out he's not somebody I need to be friends with. Got rid of him. And so people usually will complain that if I'm doing streams with me. So I mind doing my streams alone. That's kind of how I've always done it. So if you mean you're glad I'm alone because I'm not in a relationship, well, that's fine. I'm not in a relationship. I'm not. And it gives me all the free time I need to do this truth content. And I see the other people who are married and how it's absolutely them down. And then I see the guys who've had their marriage end and then they're in financial ruins. Well, being alone's not such a bad deal. Can't cross Antarctica with another donation, says, haha, is what it is. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. Yeah, so that person trolling me saying they're glad that I'm alone. Yeah, that's definitely somebody who deserves to be sniped and put in timeout. Good call. Good call, mods. Jeff Brown says a relationship is hard enough not being married. As far as now in 2022, the dating world is absolute trash, and getting is a financial decision that will probably cost you a ton of money. And if you look at the divorce rates, it's basically like more chance of you getting a divorce than staying together. So if chances are like 75, 80% that the woman is going to divorce you and take half your shit. And then women usually don't get married to men who make less money than them. So usually women want to get married to a man who makes more. And then when they get bored and then they want to go sleep with Tyrone, who's been hitting him up, or Chad, who's been hitting him up on their social media. All they have to do is say, "Oh, I'm bored with this marriage," and then they steal half your shit, and then you're in financial ruins, having to pay a woman who's over fucking Chad and Tyrone. So I don't have to deal with any of that. I haven't been in a serious relationship in like 6 years. I haven't been in a serious committed relationship in 6 years, and guess what? You never see me ruined of a woman in the last 6 years. The last woman who left me, it hurt real bad. And so, since I haven't been in any serious relationships since then, you're hard pressed to see me ruined over a woman. And being as I haven't gotten married, there's nobody that's going to steal half my shit. So, between those two things, I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. Now, do I, for bedroom fun, that I had one around sometime? Sure. But if push comes to shove, I can find some woman out there who wants to do something with it if push came to shove. I do have a big enough fan base and subscriber base. If I really want to, I can go find someone out there. Mike with a donation says, "Oh yes, when she belongs in the street." And I learned that the hard way. In my 20s and 30s, I was chasing women a lot and put my happiness into what women thought of me, and you know what? It's not a good way to live. And so now that I don't go out of my way to try and impress women or chase women, I just live my life and do my thing and be myself. It's a whole different ball game, and there's no drama. There's basically no drama as far as that goes. So the only drama in my life are shill bags like RV Truth, losers like Pat Truth, and they're backstabbing me. That's like the only drama in my life is shit internet drama. And guess what? It's not real. At any moment, if I want to shut off the internet drama, I can go to the beach and walk around, and it all goes away. Now, if you have a bad marriage on your hands or a bad relationship, eat you up and follow you around, and you won't be able to get away from it. 3 kids and you're in a loveless marriage, and there's no sex happening anymore, and the writing's on the wall, it's going to come to an end, and you're going to be financially ruined. Pretty tough to go enjoy your vision. Pretty tough to enjoy your everyday life. So, being as I don't have to worry about any of that, I'm pretty much drama free. The only drama I have is this online drama with shill bags. And in my opinion, it's not as bad as getting put into financial ruins and having your heart ripped out of your chest. Let's say your wife of 10, 20 years was to go take off with Chad and Tyrone. And that happens more and more now because women are getting hit up on social media and getting validation through social media. So there's women who are in committed relationships, even married, who still get messages from Chad and Tyrone on her Instagram or her Tinder account. And then they leave family. So basically the percentages show it's usually the woman who files for divorce, and it's usually the man who ends up in financial ruins. So I've learned to stay away from anything that might cause me financial ruins, and also stay away from these women who belong out in the streets. Ever since social media became such a huge deal, it has changed the way women act and the whole dating game. So, like, for instance, when I look at Dad's courtship and dating process, like back in the 60s, 50s, and 60s, it's like, I'm going to take Sally up on Make Mountain, and hopefully we can have a kiss. Maybe it'll lead to a little hanky-panky. Then you go up on Makeout Mountain with Sally, right? And you put on some slow music. Dream, 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 right? Only trouble is, gee, I'm dreaming my life away. So you got on like a nice slow jam, right? And you're on Makeout Mountain with Sally. And then you reach over and you give her a kiss. And then it gets hot and leads to some hanky panky. That's the way it used to go down. Now, if you were to try to drive Sally to Makeout Mountain, she's going to have a phone with Tyrone and Chad. She's going to take her phone with Tyrone and Chad along with her. And she's going to be looking at it. And Chad's going to send his big dick pic to her. And then he's going to send his big giant monster cock pic to her. And then she's going to be like, hey, can you take me back home? I don't want to be here on Makeout Mountain with you because, yeah, Chad and Tyrone just hit me up. And so, yeah, please take me home from Makeout Mountain. See, you can't even take a girl to Makeout Mountain anymore. Bring her phone. She's going to be distracted, right? She'll have seen a movie on Netflix that tells her that guys are out to murder you. That's a new thing they're doing now is they're making single men out to be murderers and killers. So on Netflix, they have these movies and TV series where they're making regular dudes out to all be murderers and killers. What if a really good-looking guy who checks off all your boxes turned out to be a serial killer? Ooh. So now, like on Netflix, they'll have like some really good-looking actor guy play this part, really nice, good-looking, drives a nice car, just wants to take you out on a date, but then he turns out a serial killer. Meanwhile, it's an NWO agenda to get women to think that there are a bunch of good-looking, sexy men out there who want to be nice to you so they can turn around and murder you. Right, sure. So, for instance, while I drove the van, every once in a while, a girl would be like, oh, you drive a creepy van? That's so creepy and weird. Like, why is it weird that I have a van? Because people who drive vans are like murderers and serial killers. Come on, dude. So, just how retarded women's thinking can be nowadays because of shit they see on TV. And women are a lot easier manipulated when it comes to stuff like this. So nowadays, most of that are wanting to get jabbed. So trying to find a good lady who doesn't want to be jabbed, completely against it, just hard enough in and of itself. So you have to find a lady who hasn't been jabbed, who doesn't want to be jabbed, who's not already taken, who's available, who's who actually still wants to like cook a meal for a man, who can maybe still clean a house and not give you lip while she's doing it. Holy shit, does that person even exist anymore? But they are out there. They are out there. I have seen some of my friends actually find a decent woman and actually make it work. So I do know it is a thing and it does exist. But it can be tough trying to find that needle in a haystack. Got a donation come in from DSL 1984, just a face. So I guess something I said was funny. Dragonfire says, Jake and his LOL. Yeah. This is for if we're going to talk about the C word, the boogeyman disease, right? Spiky ball. So this represents this. See? This spiky ball, represents this. So whenever you see me whip out this, we're talking about the spiky ball. We're talking about the C word. So this is when we want to talk about the C word. This is if we want to talk about the stab, the jab, without saying the word, you know. So without saying the word that can get you, you know, banned and taken out, use this prop. And by me using this prop, we can talk about it openly and get away with it. So I've actually brought this out. We talk about it. We know exactly what I'm talking about without me having to say the banned word. And see, the algorithm doesn't pick up on the prop. They pick up the words coming out of your mouth. So I use this one in place of that word that we're not supposed to say. I just show it to you. And then that's just a knife. That's not a knife. That's a knife. It's just a knife. Lex Serpenta says, Jake, I'm sorry. I'm drunk. Wow, I've never had a troll come in here. I had the troll admit that they're drunk and they're sorry. You know what? In fact, that's really nice of you for apologizing and admitting that you're drunk. You know what? That's a problem I've had with alcohol for years, and I've tried to give it up many times, and I still fall off the wagon from time to time and go back to that stuff. So I'm not going to fault you. We all make mistakes. The fact you apologize, admit you were drunk, water under the bridge. What a wonderful stream. You guys are a great audience. You know that? Do you guys know that you're a damn good audience? Hit the thumbs up right now if you've enjoyed this stream so far. If you like what I'm talking about or what I have talked about, if you've enjoyed any of this, do me a favor, do me a solid and smash the thumbs up. I see 172 people watching. Can we get this thing up to 250 thumbs? I see 222 thumbs up. Can we get this thing up to 250? We get this thing up to 250. I'll keep going a little longer, answer some questions. I'm still having Dud Pistachio says, I've been having alcohol problems too. Hard to keep it under control. You know what? In this time where the world is going to shit, it's extra hard to stay sober and completely clean. You know, a lot of people, need something to deal with all this bullshit in the world. There's people losing their job because they haven't taken the jab. And that can cause someone to start drinking. I understand. We all have our crutches and our addictions. Something as simple as like coffee. I know that coffee's not good for me, but every day I have to make me at least half a pot, right? So even some stuff like ruined my life. I'm not like going to end up on the streets like, can I get some so I can more coffee? I need my coffee. So even something like this, I know it's not ruining my life per se, but I do know it's not good for me. And so there's plenty of things out there that aren't good for you. And I battle that same deal every day. Like I'll go 2-3 weeks without drinking at all. And I'll be proud of myself doing good. And I'm like, all right, just stop. Just don't ever do it again. And you're good. And then there'll be a day where I just feel like eating Mexican food and having a Corona. And I'll be eating Mexican food. And I'm like, dude, screw it. I want a Corona with lime. I want to drink it. I said the C word. And I was talking about beer. I was supposed to avoid saying that word. But I was talking about beer. Anyway, so let's say I'm having Mexican food and I just feel like having a Modelo with lime. And then I do. And then nothing bad happens, but I still feel guilty for the fact that I went 3 weeks without having any alcohol and that I broke down and had the beer with Mexican food. But then I have to tell wait a minute, are you going to beat yourself up over drinking a beer with Mexican food? You didn't even get drunk. You didn't go out and do anything wrong. It didn't have any negative consequences. You had to drink a beer with your Mexican food. So you drank a fucking beer. So what? And so sometimes it can come down to my own mind beating my own self up over something. I'll be like, shit, I went without drinking and then I fell off the wagon and I drank a beer with my Mexican food. And then I think, well, so what? Did I ruin my life because of that? No. And so sometimes you have to like not beat yourself up if you make a mistake. And if it is something that is controlling your life, and causing negative consequences, then of course you're going to want to stop if you can. And if you can't, then you're going to want to look into getting help with the problem, of course. But it really comes down to you. And so if you don't really want to quit, then you're going to keep doing it. And if you really want to quit, then you will. It's really what it comes down to. Is it's all about you really, really want to quit doing something, and you know what you have to do, and you have to change your life completely in some cases in order to avoid these substances. Well, that's what you got to do. And if that means substitute it for something else, like substitute working out and going to the gym for getting high, you got to figure out a way to occupy your time. Uh, then that's what you got to do. Um, I've beaten myself up over substances, and then other days I've, drank, smoked, ate mushrooms, did a live stream, and had you guys laughing at me and entertaining me and throwing me donations. And then I look back and I'm like, dude, I had a great time, did a wonderful live stream, and no, I didn't hurt anyone, nothing bad happened. And so there's times where I'm in a battle with my own self over whether it's okay to indulge a little substances, because if you do it a little bit, you'll still wish that you hadn't done that sometimes. Beat yourself up and feel inside, even if you just had a couple beers one night. You can get angry at yourself, beat yourself up over it. And so I get tired of the mental anguish myself, and I'm honest with my audience too. And so it sucks when people try and use my honesty against me. So I'll be honest with people and tell people, some of the substances I'm addicted to and problems I've had with them. And I know people are just going to turn around and try and backstab me with that information and use it against me. But you know what? I'm an honest dude, and I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I'm honest with my audience. And I do that so that if you guys are having a problem with something similar, that you can hear it from somebody like me and realize there's other people out there with the exact same issues you might be going through. And even someone like me who's pretty good at controlling these substances before they completely take control of me. I still have things that I would like to give up that I haven't. Mike says no one is perfect. Lux Serpentis says I hate myself. Don't hate yourself, buddy. Try to find something about yourself that you do like and focus in on that, if possible. Genitol69 says I'm loving this subject. Well, this is regular shit that we all deal with, You wake up in the morning, you feel tired. How many of you have coffee in the morning? Some days I wake up, I'm just not feeling very motivated, kind of out of it. And so, yeah, some coffee to give me that extra boost of energy to get you going. But of course, coffee isn't really good for you, and it causes stress hormones, which give you that fake energy that you get. Caffeine is it's short lived, and then it's followed by a crash, of course, typically. And what's even worse than coffee is energy drinks. So if you're drinking energy drinks, you're going to want to switch down to coffee, and then from coffee maybe down to tea, and then give it up. But if you're drinking energy drinks with 200, 300 milligrams of caffeine, and then you're drinking multiple energy drinks a day, you're going to find yourself serious. That does add up. I know dudes who are drinking Red Bulls like every single day. And if you drink a Red Bull every single day or two, and then you count up that money at the end of the month, that's a bill that you're paying. So if you're going to drink Red Bull every day at like $3 a can, one a day times 30 days in a month, well, that's $90. Now, what if you drink two Red Bulls a day, $3 a can? Well, now you're at $180 in a month, right? So imagine paying around $150 to $200 a month for energy drink bill. and know that they're doing that every month. So there are people struggling with bills who drink energy drinks every day. And if you look at their energy drink bill, it might be 150, $200 a month. And so if you look at the ingredients in an energy drink, it's absolute trash. Absolute trash, way worse than coffee. So if you're one of these people who's addicted to energy drinks and you're drinking these 300 milligram caffeine rock stars and monster energy drinks, I implore you to switch to coffee. Coffee's not good for you, but it's not as bad as an energy. A Red Bull is poison. Coffee is way less toxic for you than a Red Bull or a rock star. I made the mistake in my early 20s and shit when these energy drinks first came out of buying, and I got addicted. In my 20s, I was drinking 2 energy drinks a day. And it wasn't until my 30s that I finally got off that shit. So I look at how many cans of Red Bull and energy drinks that I drank in my 20s, and I'm disgusted with how many I drank. But it's in the past. I can't go back and undrink them. I can't beat myself up for it too much anymore. And I feel really well that I don't drink that shit. But like I said, I still, when I wake up in the morning, have to drink coffee. And so that's an addiction that eventually I'm going to have to try and wean myself off of, because it's a reliance on caffeine to give you energy. And so just something simple like coffee, I know it's an addiction, but am I going to beat myself up over it? Like, am I going to tell myself like, oh, Jake, man, you fell off the wagon. You should be disappointed in yourself for drinking that coffee. It's like, no, I drank it, and then I went on with my life, and nobody got hurt. Big fucking deal. So there's times where just deciding what you can do and how to even treat your own self over what you're doing. Okay to have these addictions? Is it okay to fall off the wagon once in a while? How much do you want to beat yourself up over it? How much sleep do you want to lose? Andy RB says glitching. I'm sorry if it's glitching out. I don't have the best internet connection in here, and it is what it is. DSL 1984 says I stopped coffee, but eventually went back to decaf, but not daily. See, I don't know why anyone would drink decaf, because I'm not trying to drink the coffee unless I'm going to get the energy rush. I don't want to drink some hot, nasty stuff and then not get the energy. Like, the only reason I'm drinking the coffee is for the energy rush. So decaf to me would be like, I'm going to smoke fake weed so that I can not get high, but still get the feeling of smoking something. I'm not going to go smoke fake weed. If I'm going to quit weed, I ain't going to go smoke fake weed, or drinking O'Doul's. So to me, decaf coffee would be like drinking an O'Doul's non-alcohol. I'm not going to spend my money on non-alcoholic beer. So Name says, so caffeine is bad. Anything that causes a stress response in your body is not good for you, technically. So a lot of these stress responses that our body puts off, for instance, let's say you eat a bunch of hot peppers and it's burning your mouth. Yeah, that's basically showing you that that's toxic and not good for you. That's like a natural response of your body letting you know not to put that in your system. But people have been trained to eat spicy food over the years and appreciate that burning of the mouth. Say, oh no, it's wonderful when my mouth is burning and my nose is running. When that's actually a response from your body telling you not to put that in your mouth and do that anymore. Or like if you're chopping onions and you start to fry. Onions are very acidic, and they're antibacterial, antifungal. They're not really that good for you. So you get these stress responses from some of these foods, and people don't realize that that's actually your body telling you that that's not something you should be eating, not something you should be putting in your body. So caffeine, for instance, if you look on the back of like Rockstar, the caffeine comes in all these sources like guarana and taurine and shit. So it's these extracts, plant extracts and shit that are not healthy. If you extract oils, concentrates from plants, and then you put it in a sugary energy drink, it will cause your body to have a toxic response, basically. And you'll get this quick energy boost from the stress hormones in your body, but then it's going to be followed by a crash. You're not going to feel great and wonderful all day if you pound a rock star. You should probably know out by now. So whatever temporary energy boost you do get, it will always be followed by your crash. Dragonfire says caffeine causes stress, anxiety, and later on heart problems. 25,000 die a year just from soda. Soda's nasty, and my family still drinks it. My family loves Pepsi. The women in my family, my grandma, my aunt, my cousin, they drink the fuck out of Pepsi. Like Pepsi is like it's like always in the fridge. And if I go over there and I drink like half of a Pepsi, I start to just like get mad at myself and be like, why are you even doing that? So if I drink half a Pepsi, I get disappointed in myself, and I can just tell that it's just like the worst thing to be putting in my like. So yeah, I can't even drink a soda anymore. I'll drink like 3 sips of it, and then I'll be like, why? What am I doing? And then I'll throw it away. So if I start to make a bad decision, like drink a soda, I'll get 3 drinks into it, realize it's so sugary and gross, and just throw it away. In fact, I have this raw milk been sitting here. This is what I like to drink pretty much. I just straight chug it. You got fat, carbohydrates, and protein all in one source. Fat, carbohydrate, protein, easily taken into your system. Your body will quickly get to work lighting this fat, spreading it out to your body. Now, some of you can't get this raw milk, and so it goes to show you, like, why are they making it illegal? Why are they making it as hard as possible to get raw milk? Why does it cost like 3 times as much as pasteurized milk? Why are they making it so hard on you? Same reason they're pricing grass-fed steak out of your range. So the elites will tell you to eat a vegan diet and to go plant-based, but at the same time, if you look at organic grass-fed meat, it's priced out of most people's price range these days. You look at raw milk, this is $10 to $15 a gallon. Gasoline, it costs more than gasoline to drink raw milk. Think about that. It's expensive. This $10 to $15 for a gallon. Anna says raw milk illegal in Europe. Yeah. So you have to ask yourself, why are they going out of their way to kill all the nutrients in the milk and then give you dead milk? Why are they so hell-bent on keeping you from drinking the real deal? Toxic 5870 says gas price will catch up to it soon. Well, if this convoy headed for DC, if they start shutting down the DC area, and they can blame all kinds of shit on it. They can be like, oh, this trucker convoy in DC is causing a food shortage for the entire country. Oh, this trucker convoy in DC, yeah, it's going to cause gas to go up for the entire country. The war with Russia and Ukraine, this trucker, yeah, gas is just going to go up for the entire country because of it. Yeah, I could totally see them using this shit to make gas $6, $7 a gallon. If gas goes up to like $6, $7 a gallon, what are you going to do? You still got to buy it. And that's another way for them to push their electric car agenda. Electric car agenda. They want you riding with just electricity so that you can only get so far. You can only get so far. You have to buy your electric cars through these companies to get your carbon credits because global warming. Global warming, buy this electric car. It's all part of their agenda. Robert Sanchez says U.S. powers incoming. Now, I don't know if they can declare martial law over the entire country if something happens in D.C., but declare martial law in D.C. So if you look at the District of Columbia, it's said to be like its own like private country within our country. It's like it's not the United States. It's the District of Columbia. It's separate. It's different, right? It's its own thing. And so if they were to have this giant psyop that's going to go down in the DC area, or at least that's what it looks like, this convoy uh, in the next few days is going to arrive. And you know they're going to sit there and honk their horns and shut down an area. And then regular people are going to get involved. And then the media is going to turn it into an absolute circus when they start claiming that these guys are terror white supremacists. So when it's all said and done, you're going to be looking at more rules and more regulations and possibly even martial law within the District of Columbia and propaganda on television. And the sheeple are going to eat it up, especially the libs. The libs think that these are white supremacists and domestic terrorists. Meanwhile, the truckers are controlled and this whole thing's set up from the get-go. And so if you're waiting for these truckers to come save you or fix anything, think again. They're here to bring law and more regulation. That's what's going to happen. It's a convoy. Convoy. Genitol 69 says Jake for president. Andy RB says, wait until the false flag event. Here's the problem. I'm out in front of this one. I've called it out. So it's almost like you can see this one happening in slow motion. It's like a head-on collision, and you can see it coming in slow motion. So you know these trucks are headed to DC. I told you these trucks are headed to DC a week ago. Look into it. The trucks are headed to DC. You got people rooting them on the side of the road, thinking that they're going to go fix the country and make everything go back to the normal. Not a chance. So it's like they're headed there. I'm telling you, it's a psychological operation, but I can't stop it. So I'm warning you guys that these trucks are going to go to the District of Columbia and they're going to block off an area. The mainstream media is going to paint them out as being domestic terrorists. I'm guessing after a few days of the trucks being parked and honking of horns, that then the police are in riot gear are going to come in and they're going to leave, or their vehicles are going to be seized. We're going to see a little off quarrel between the protesters who are there and the riot police. Police are going to have their batons and their shields and their mace ready, and they're going to say, back, 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 back. And they're going to shove everyone backwards who's protesting. And if you think you're going to fight those police, well, they're going to spray you with mace, beat you with batons, and arrest you. So even if protesters than there are police, it comes down to being organized, and the police are more organized and better armed. and these protesters are showing up with nonviolence as their theme. So basically, the police know that they're unarmed for the most part and not going to be violent. So they don't have a problem, since they're being paid, shoving you backwards. They don't care as long as they're getting a paycheck. So this is how it goes. Oh, you're going to occupy this area and you're going to protest? No, you're not. Back, back, back. That's what they do. They have their shields and their riot gear and their batons, and then they just go back, back, back. And then people start getting shoved back. They start getting shoved back. Oh, oh. And then they're like, you can't do this to us. Look, they're shoving us back. They're making us leave. And then they leave. And if you try and fight back, if you're one of the people who tries and fights them, they have riot gear and shields and mace. So guess who wins that battle? The police. So if you're stupid enough to try and fight the police in one of these controlled protests, they're going to be ready for you. So again, I implore you to not go to any of these controlled protests. Don't put yourself in there. Do not put yourself in danger over this. They are going to use this to track people down who go to this protest. If you look at what the Canadian police have said, that they're going to freeze bank accounts, that they're going to press criminal charges against anyone who participated in that protest, they'll do the same thing here. So imagine catching a criminal case because of it and having your ruined because of it, and still the convoy not accomplish anything as far as freedom. You'll wish like hell you hadn't got involved. So if I can save at least one person, then I've done my job. Don't get yourself involved in this dumb convoy. Are there some good, confused people getting involved? Yep, but they're good, confused, naive people who've got themselves involved in a controlled situation, and they just don't know any better. So that's why I'm telling you, don't get involved with this freedom convoy. Don't go out there and park your car and honk your horn. If you show up in DC with an American flag and honk your horn and get involved with that, well, just expect when the party comes to an end, it's going to come to an end like this. Back, 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 back. That's how quick your party ends. And then they'll seize your car, haul it away. They'll seize your diesel truck and haul it away. So if you're a trucker and you want to put your truck out there and stop people on the freeway with your truck and honk your horn, well, I'm advising that you don't do that, because it's not change anything. Now, there's not a lot of truth channels who would dare tell you any of this. That's how you know that this is the real truth channel. I'm getting out in front of this thing, warning you to not get yourself arrested or involved in this bullshit. This is the type of situation where you'll see Alex Jones showing up. So it wouldn't shock me if Alex Jones himself showed up to this convoy. We're here to fight the globalists. We're here at the truckers convoy in DC to fight the globalists, but we're going to do it nonviolence. We're here to fight these globalists for nonviolence. Everybody knows it's the globalists. It's not the Jews, not the Jesuits. It's the globalists. That's who it is. And so we're going to fight the globalists with nonviolence. Right? The dude shows up at a lot of these mainstream protests. That's where Alex Jones will typically show up. So I'll bet you Alex Jones and the whole InfoWars crew might make an appearance at this upcoming Freedom Convoy. Wouldn't shock me. I haven't checked in on his channel. I haven't heard him say if he's going to be there or not. I just remember he showed up to a few of the lockdown protests, and he was in like a tank. He was in this like armored tank vehicle. It's like, where the fuck did you get that? And why are the cops letting you ride around with a megaphone inside of a tank? And so this guy will show up to controlled protests, and he'll have like an armored tank vehicle, and he'll have a megaphone, and he'll be like, "We're here to fight the globalists. Do not cause any violence. don't anybody do anything violent. We're here in nonviolence. There's a nonviolent protest. We're going to show these globalists who's boss. We're going to eat these globalists' ass. That's right. I'm hungry. I want to eat these globalists' asses. That's what we're going to do. Andy RB says Alex is a gatekeeper. Yes, of course, he's the most well-known gatekeeper. But even though he's the most well-known gatekeeper, when he shows up at these controlled events, people cheer for him. So I saw a show up at a lockdown protest in like Texas. I can't remember the exact location, but he rode by in this like armored tank, and all the protesters there were like, "Yay, Alex Jones is here." It's like, no, you should be like, fuck, Alex Jones is here. We got had. Oh my God, we're in a control. That's what you should do. If you were at a protest and Alex Jones showed up, you should be like, fuck, I screwed up. I shouldn't be here. I'm leaving. That's what I would do. If I was at a protest, I've learned my lesson not to go to protests. I went to one major protest and I won't ever go back. Now I know that they don't do anything and that they're bullshit. So I've learned my lesson. But let's say I was at a protest and then Alex Jones showed up to that protest, I would be like, fuck, I'm leaving. I'm out. The minute I saw that dude show up in a tank with his megaphone, like, we're here in defiance of tyranny through nonviolence. We're here to oppose the tyrants and the globalists. I'd be like, I'm out of here. Peace, y'all. Dragonfire says Alex Jones impersonation is dead on. Well, you know, I am the world's most talented and funny comedian, so it just happens naturally. That's right. I am, of course, the world's most funniest and talented comedian. And because I'm the most funniest talented comedian and I tell the truth, it basically also makes me like one of the world's most dangerous free thinkers. Like I'm such a free thinker that I'm actually dangerous. I'm such a free thinker, I'm considered a domestic terrorist just for expressing my thoughts. By the letter of the law, I'm a dangerous bad guy because I question reality, because I know that the world's a stage. Holy shit, I'm a shadow banned, dangerous terrorist, right? Because I question things, because I talk about things and make people think and feel. Which is why they have agents and shills making hit piece videos about me when they could be talking about, oh, I don't know, the convoy coming your way. So you look at these agents and shills who could be warning you about this convoy, you know, the one that I'm warning you about, but they won't. Instead, they'll want to tell you Jake the asshole's a liar. Jake the asshole's a shill coming to DC. So when you look at, let's say, like the last guy to call me a shill, like Russian videos, he's not warning you about the DC convoy headed your way in full detail. No. He'll probably wait until after it's all said and done and then go, look, you guys, 33 Masons. That'll be his breakdown. See, I have a timestamp that I was out in front of this thing warning you guys before it happens. I told you about this 6 days ago, and we're rediscussing it now. And talking about this Ukraine-Russia thing, like I said, it's like a perfect storm of propaganda. You got the Russia-Ukraine thing going on, distracting a lot of Americans from the convoy happening. So when they do show up in DC and the news is like, oh, look at these white supremacists blocking the roads, shit's going to get out of hand real fast. So here in America, we're going to have that giant psyop going on while the stage war's going on. This is a perfect storm of propaganda. So what could they do then on top of that? Oh, let's say, you know, some power grid knockouts, and they could cut off the food supply to certain areas, supermarket shelves to go in. Let's see, they could have, let's say, a bunch of crypto get stolen through a high, and then pass a bunch of crypto new regs and laws. So here's the thing with crypto, how they can really screw us is they could have, let's say, uh, crypto gets stolen from people, and they'll say it's Russian hackers. Russian hackers have hacked into these crypto sites and have stolen, millions or billions of dollars worth of crypto. And we're going to pass these new laws and regulations with crypto now because the Russians, of course, like hacked into it. And so we're going to go ahead and control that. So if you look at, let's say, cyber hacking, they can cyber hack anyone or anything and as much money as they want, and then just be like, it's a cyber hack. And what are you going to do? What are we going to? How are we supposed to verify it? So if they're like, oh, Russia cyber hacked us and they stole $500 million, we just have to be like, yeah, okay. So how are we supposed to verify any of this? And you can't. So you obviously know it's bullshit. And so, I worry because I have a little bit of crypto. I bought a little bit. I don't have my life wrapped up in it, but I own some. And so I'm like thinking in my head, shit, should I withdraw all of it? I don't want to withdraw all of it and then have the damn crypto go up by a ton in the next month and then me lose out on that. So I'm caught in a bit of a predicament where I'm like, shit, I got to go pull all my crypto out, or should I just continue sitting on a little bit of it at least? So I could see them using cyber hack in the middle of this war while the freedom convoy shit's going on. And we have this perfect storm propaganda all going on at once from every angle. Could totally see that happening. Mass One says, I think we're going to dirty ourselves and blame it on Russia. And then he has a picture of a bomb. Yeah, you could basically blow up a city and then say it was Russia. You could basically blow up a city and then say it was a meteor. I'm convinced you could blow up a major city and say it was a meteor and we didn't see it coming, or something like that. Or you could say it was a Russian attack. Totally. I mean, if they say that on TV, if they say it on TV, then to most people it's true. And when you look at the fact that this is a made-for-TV war, that's not out of the realm of possibility. Where you drop a legit bomb on an area in the United States and we have some actual bloodshed, but then they totally blame the whole thing on Russia. Yeah, they've been pushing this war with USA versus Russia, USA versus China, stuff like that. We've been hearing about that narrative coming for years and years, and so you have to wonder if it's finally here. Sean Smith says everyone is saying stop up, keep a little in there. You know, you can have a stockpile of ammo and food and all that stuff, but you can only stay alive so much longer if shit was to hit the fan. If the world around you was to turn to chaos, lawlessness, and blood, and you had to live inside of a bunker or a basement off ration supplies, that's going to be a depressing, shitty life. And how long do you want to draw out that situation? If, let's say, you stay alive for 6 months or a year, suffer and die. Like, if how are the supplies going to be able to get you through completely to where everything's okay again? How much supplies do you have? And let's say shit was to hit the fan and it's a lawlessness and people are out murdering and robbing each other left and right. Well, now you got to sit there and guard your rations all day long while you slowly whittle them down. That doesn't seem like a very fun life. Living in a bunker while you slowly eat your rations, while the zombie apocalypse is happening above, it just seems like a real shitty life to me. And so when I hear about these preppers, it's you can prep as much as you want, but if people come to rob you and steal your shit, then you're going to be in protection mode of your shit and having to protect your shit from zombies. You can't do it 24 hours a day. You're not going to be like shooting zombies 24 hours a day who are trying to steal your shit. Eventually, you'll get tired. You'll have to sleep. So I just think of like, okay, if I had tons of food and tons of ammo in an underground bunker, would I want to be down there by myself for a year while my supplies whittled down? It's depressing as all hell. And then your fate be, oh, you got to live an extra year, but they still died. So if all being a prepper gets you is an extra 6 months or an extra year of shitty life, well, it's not even that much worth it then, is it? Or if they steal your shit, if you're a prepper and you have all this shit and then someone else figures out you have all that shit and then they rob you and steal it all from you, well, then you'll fucking wish that you never did. See what I'm saying? So there's no way to be perfectly safe and set up for this shit. You know, you'd have to have built your own log cabin, have a ton of ammo, a ton of food, and uh, you know, to set that all up. And then if the shit does hit the fan and we're in a zombie apocalypse, for you to be comfortable, happy, and healthy, it's going to be damn near impossible. The Dutch says the world is a stage and most of us are desperately unrehearsed. Yeah, I can agree with that for the most part. Dragonfire says, look at the days you go fishing and don't catch shit. Now imagine trying to survive like that. Yeah, you can go out hunting in the woods and not see anything squirrels, for hours and days. And how many people are skilled enough hunters to not only make the kill, but then slaughter the animal and then prepare it, and eat it, and then go repeat the process day in, day out. Most people wouldn't be able to hunt and kill and and survive. And shit, we're so far removed from nature. Uh, Most people can't survive, a few hours without their phone and they start to freak out. So I can only imagine how people are going to start acting when the shit just starts to hit the fan. This one says US and Ukraine actually forced Putin's hand. See, I feel like Putin and Donald Trump and all these guys are all buddies just putting on a big part. So I look at like Trump as another actor on the big stage and Putin's another actor. And I've seen pictures of them smiling and hanging out with each other. And it just looks like two actors hanging out with each other, mucking it up. So I don't really look at it like it's a legit fight between two countries. The Council of 90 Years says Putin is owned by the same religious gangsters who own Trump. Well, it seems that way to me. It seems that, families like the Rothschilds are like above all these puppets. And then you have puppets like Trump who think, you know, are a big deal. You have puppets like Biden who people think decisions. Like Biden is not even a real dude, in my opinion. It's like a fake president. And so if it's basically a deep fake president and they have actors playing the part of Joe Biden, whether it's one actor, two actors, or a team of actors playing the part of Joe Biden, I don't feel a regular president. And if we did have just a regular president who's a senile old dude who doesn't really know what's going on, well, then he's a senile old dude who doesn't know what's going on. So therefore, he's easily controlled and he's just a puppet. So if you look at Joe Biden, you can't look at him as a dude actually making decisions and actually doing anything. And so, who are the type of people who could stick their finger in his chest and tell him what to do? A family like the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, possibly, like these big, giant elite families that are never going to go away. It seems that they have become our money source, like the money that we work for and then we buy everything with and that we're controlled by. Like these families invented it. They are money. And so how do we beat that? How do we fight those guys effectively when they're the ones who set this whole damn thing up? How do you fight a family that is money? They created the money that you have to slave away for. They created the money you wish you had. They created it all out of thin air. And it's all funneled back to them, which is crazy. So the thing that they just can create out of nowhere, they set the system up to where it's always constantly funneled back to them. Imagine being the one who set that all up. If you're the one that set up money and you control all of it, are you ever going to let someone else step in and run that game? Are you ever going to hand that power over to someone else? I think not. I'm pretty sure if your family owned all the money, you created the money, well, you're probably just not going to like hand over that business to some other family. Probably going to want to hang on to that power. And so when you look at the ones who are in power, are they ever satisfied with their power? No, they want more. Are they satisfied with their money? No, they want more. They want your last damn dollar, your last damn dime. They want all of it. They're never satisfied. These aren't regular people. These are evil entities. Uh, I don't know what they are, whether there's some advanced time alien species, lizard people, whatever you want to call them. They don't seem like regular people to me. When you look at the queen, that looks like some sort of demon. Doesn't even look like an old lady. When you look at the rods in their eyes, they just have these demon eyes. They look like really evil satanic people who enjoy being evil and satanic. You know who's another person who's evil and satanic? And I've noticed when I go back and I watch old videos, like how powerful this man is, and no one talks about him as much. Vince McMahon, the owner of World Wrestling Entertainment, is a supremely rich and elite man who owns and has a monopoly on the entire world of wrestling, basically. There are other companies that try to compete, but basically, McMahon, with his company, has folded other billionaires even. Ted Turner was a billionaire and beat him and folded his company. And then you look at Trump and Vince McMahon are buddies, and Trump and Vince McMahon had a pretend fight. So Trump and Vince McMahon are good buddies, and they even had a pretend wrestling match. And so if you look at how wrestling is a big part of pop culture, and if it goes even back to Hulk Hogan and Macho Man talking about the Twin Towers coming down. How come in 1989 Macho Man and Hulk Hogan are talking about the Twin Towers coming down? What are the odds? Now, there was a tag team called the Twin Towers, but guess what? Hulk Hogan and Macho Man were called the Superpowers. So the Superpowers were going to take on the Twin Towers. And they also had a team called the Demolition. So then the Demolition would take on the Twin Towers. So the Superpowers against the Twin Towers and the Demolition against the Twin Towers. All just coincidence. And this in 1988, 89, 90, long before the towers. Macho Man Randy Savage saying, "You're gonna see the Twin Towers come crumbling down." My connection's unstable. Rose Bellman says, "Are you coming back?" Shit, I've done 3 hours over here. I'll take a break and then I'll do another stream over on the Jake channel. Thank you, Rose. I appreciate that. Hey, anyone still here? Please hit the thumb up. I'd appreciate that if we can get the little love and the thumbs up. Maybe the algorithm might pop, let some of the audience see this. So maybe if I get enough thumbs up, they'll actually send out some notifications. So, oh yeah, let me get to my point. So Vince McMahon, if you look into his character, he actually went around and bought out every single wrestling territory. And then when you look at pro wrestling, they use it to foreshadow what's going to happen in major world events. So if you have Macho Man Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan preferencing the towers coming down in 1989, that was long before the towers actually came down. And so you have to wonder, like, who's feeding him the script? And then when you look at Vince McMahon, he is well connected, super well, big giant company where they have these big giant live events. And as I was watching one of his live events, sometimes I'll go back and watch old wrestling matches because when I was a kid, I used to like wrestling. So I'll go back and watch old wrestling matches. But when I watch now, the whole thing seems like a big satanic show. So it's like when I look at it now, it's like a satanic church gathering. So he gets these big satanic church gatherings, and men pretend to fight each other in their underwear, and they preference and pre-shadow future that are going to happen in the world, like the towers coming down. And then you had the NWO World Order, the wrestling NWO New World Order. So before I even knew what the New World Order was, they had a wrestling New World Order, and Hulk Hogan was the main guy running the wrestling New World Order. So what are the chances Hulk Hogan talked about the Twin Towers coming down before they came down, and he was in a group called the NWO long before guys like me ever thought about the New World Order as a conspiracy? They had the New World Order as a wrestling faction. So if you look at that script alone, and then who's the main guy? Hulk Hogan in that era, part of the Black Eye Club. So Hogan's part of the secret club, the Black Eye Club, and he has pictures of him after he wins the belt at WrestleMania with the worst looking black eye you ever saw. And the says he got a jet ski accident and just hurt his eye. And then when you look at everyone who's in the Black Eye Club, all the these Illuminati members who show up during the height of their career. There's always a point at the height of these guys' career. They show up with this black eye, and that's signify they're in the club. And it's in most cases a legit black eye. Sometimes it's downright ugly looking. And Hogan had one of the worst, nastiest looking black eyes. It looked like a serpent went inside of his eye and laid eggs, possibly. I know that might sound stupid, but if you look into Hogan, how much of an evil piece of shit that dude is, and then you look at Vince McMahon and how satanic and evil that dude is, well, makes perfect sense now. Makes perfect sense when I look back that these certain guys were optimized. These certain guys were given the title. Guys were allowed to win and be the top guy in the company. Do it. They even let Hogan just absolutely bury other wrestlers, and so Hogan was title, and he would systematically call out other wrestlers, bury him to Vince McMahon, so that they never got to climb the ladder and become as popular as him. And back into Vince McMahon, he now is hiring nothing but a bunch of transformers in the women's division, and everybody watching these WWE women wrestlers thinks it's so. The WWE women wrestlers nowadays are all men, and it's a big giant deception. So if you're watching women's wrestling and you go pay for a ticket, what you just paid for is is drag queen. So to me, if you go to one of these events, it's a satanic event where they're going to have drag queens pretend to fight, and everyone in the audience thinks it's actual women. So this dude Vince McMahon, you even have him on camera at one point when he was feuding with Stone Cold. He said, "When I die, I want to go straight to hell." And he's openly, basically, a satanic, demonic person. And he admits that the more evil shit that he does, the better he feels. And he rewards other wrestlers and men who were basically drug addicts and bad dudes. So he would always reward some of the baddest dudes in his company, some of the most evil pieces of shit. He would reward them. So when you look at the world wrestling entertainment, there's a lot of parallels with the government and with war and with Hollywood transformer agenda. So the Hollywood transformer agenda is being laid out through Vince McMahon's company years for a pretend drag queen fight. You got children in watching drag queens pretend to fight, and their parents bring them to that shit willy nilly. Jenna Toll 69 says Chris Benoit was an amazing father. So Chris Benoit, there's a conspiracy because he was killed, or he basically, what they say is that he killed his family and then killed himself. But there's a conspiracy when you look into that, because every single year, popular wrestlers die. And so the conspiracy goes that Vince McMahon sacrifices wrestlers, actually sacrifices them, because every year, out of weird circumstances, a popular wrestler will die out of nowhere under weird circumstances. So Chris Benoit, they say, murdered his whole family and then killed himself. And then Eddie Guerrero is another wrestler that died of crazy circumstances. Art was supposed to ride a zip line to the wrestling ring, and the zip line malfunctioned, and he fell to his death in front of a live audience. Let's see. There's a shitload more that I'm not forgetting. So there's a bunch of dudes who have met their untimely demise when they were at the height of their career, and strange circumstances behind their death. And as the conspiracy goes, Vince McMahon is sacrificing different wrestlers. So basically, Vince will get off on ruining people's life, sacrificing people. It's something that he enjoys, and he's pretty much honest and open about the destroying people's life. So you have a dude who plays an evil role, and he's actually really evil. So he will even insert himself in the storylines and pretend to be the bad guy in the wrestling matches, when in reality, he's actually a bad dude. North Elect says, I loved NWO Wolfpack when I was a kid. I loved wrestling more than anything as a kid. I trained to become a pro wrestler when I was a teenager. When I was 17, I told my mom I was going to become a pro wrestler, and I told her that the only thing I want for Christmas and my is money to go to wrestling school. So I actually paid $500 to go to professional wrestling school, and I trained for a year to become a professional wrestler. I quickly discovered that me being a skinny, scrawny dude is not going to work as a professional wrestler. And so I was really good at doing the moves, and I'm a really energetic person, and I'm good at pretending to fight somebody and making it look real. The problem is I'm not a big jack dude, and that's kind of like a thing you need to be for the most part in wrestling. There are some smaller wrestlers, Little Rey Mysterio, whatever, but basically it's a hard life, an extremely hard, rough life, and you're going to destroy your body, even if you're being real careful. If somebody just drops you accidentally on your head one bad time, you're you can be screwed for life. So if one dude drops you on your head incorrectly, your whole life is screwed. So taking that into consideration, that I was going to basically ruin my body and not ever become famous, a famous wrestler, and actually make a living at it, I decided maybe it was best that I just watch it and not actually do it. So there was a time when I was a teenager, me and my friends would go out in the backyard and beat the shit out of each other with steel chairs. That's how into it we were. In fact, I have an old VHS cassette tape tucked away somewhere where me and my friends beat the shit out of each other with steel chairs and and barbed wire and light tubes so that we could be like the wrestlers in ECW. Jenna Nine says the Dudley brothers were awesome. I saw the Dudley boys in ECW, the original ECW. I saw them take on Spike Dudley and Balls Mahoney in a tag team championship match where they went all around the little arena and they were hitting each other, anything and everything that they could pick up. Every one of them was just bloody as all hell. And back in them days, the ECW wrestlers blade, a little razor blade, and you cut your own forehead open. So what people don't know about wrestlers, if you don't follow it, they don't use fake blood. Wrestlers cut themselves open with razor blades. So if you see a wrestler bleeding, it's not fake blood. They cut themselves open with razor blades. They take a little razor blade and they cut themselves open at the top of the hairline, and it bleeds like crazy. That's where the blood comes from. So typically, if you see a guy get hit with a chair, the chair doesn't bust him open. You get whacked over the head with a chair, and then you go down to the ground and you pull out your little razor blade. And while you're on the ground, you're like, you cut yourself open. Now you start bleeding profusely out of the cut that you made on getting hit with a chair or a weapon. When in actuality, wrestlers for many years have been bleeding, just the act of cutting yourself open. And these wrestlers cut themselves open so much that their forehead becomes just a mess. And so basically, it's just nothing but scar tissue all over their forehead. And then in every single match, they just turn into a bleeding mess. And so guys like the Dudley boys, if you look at their foreheads, it's an absolute mess. And they would fight guys like Balls Mahoney, Spike Dudley, and New Jack, and everyone's forehead was just an absolute bloody mess. And so when I look back when I was a teenager, I was into all that. And I look back now, I look at it as being satanic and 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 gross. Like go guys cut each other, guys cut themselves open and stuff anymore. I think it's gross. I don't want to watch guys smack each other over the head with chairs like when I was a teenager. So now when I watch it, it's like, ew, makes me uncomfortable. But when I was a teenager, I was all into it. And the bloodier the match, I thought the better. And so when I product now, I've grown up so much that now when I look at the guys whack each other over the head with chairs, pull out a razor blade, start cutting themselves open, it disturbs me. So anyway, without going off too much on wrestling, basically it's run by a really satanic evil dude, Vince McMahon. And when you look into him and his family, they're into some pretty weird shit. Oh yeah. Also, one of the here's and then we'll get off wrestling. But one of the wrestlers who was given the title many times, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, he was always dating a transformer. He was dating a transformer named China. So they used to have this transformer named China, who they claimed was the strongest woman in the world. She was the ninth wonder of the world, and they called her China. And it was a dude. It was obvious it was a dude. And they had Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Triple H, dating this transformer. And so I think he was rewarded for dating this transformer. And then he went on to marry the boss's daughter. So Triple H goes on to marry Vince McMahon's daughter and become part of the family. So he was dating this transformer named China. And then, oh yeah, China gets killed. So China's dead. So the transformer China also dies of mysterious reasons. She's another one of these dead wrestlers. So you had Triple H dating this transformer. The transformer dies, and then Triple H marries Vince McMahon's daughter. Many people think Vince McMahon's daughter is also a transformer. And so when guys like Triple H, it's almost as if he got rewarded and his career was given a push because he went along with the NWO agenda of hanging out with transformers and dating them and sleeping with them. So because he dates and sleeps with transformers, Vince McMahon gave him the championship belt over and over and over and over. So you just look at these little things that go on in wrestling, and if you've ever watched it and you looked into some of these characters and these mysterious deaths, there's some evil satanic shit that goes on there, and it's bigger than people think. And so a guy like Vince is more evil than people think, more powerful than people think, and more rich than people think. And before he dies, I think he might sell the company to Disney. Just before Vince kicks the bucket, or just after Vince kicks the bucket, maybe his kids will sell it. But in my estimation, you're going to see a company like Disney take over the world wrestling entertainment, probably in the next 5 years to 10 years. Disney's going to probably be the owner. All right. So I've been on here for over 3 hours, and I'm going to take a break. And later on tonight, I'll do a stream over on the Jake Gibson channel. I'll probably repeat a few of the topics earlier about the war and about the convoy for anybody over there who's new in the stream who hasn't watched this one. So over on my backup channel, let's say about 8 Pacific, I'll go live over there. So I'm going to wrap up over here. And if you guys want to join me in about an hour and a half over on my backup channel, I'll stream again over there. And I'm thinking maybe I might even take this computer over to like Starbucks or something and use the Wi-Fi over there and see if it's even better. Maybe I'll do that. And then we can smoke a bowl. We can toke a bowl. So over on the Jake Gibson channel, I'll go try and find some better Wi-Fi so that it doesn't glitch out, and we'll toke the bowl ski sheet together. Because I can't smoke here in the office anymore because people complain. But if I go to Starbucks in my car or somewhere where there's Wi-Fi and it's a nice strong signal, then we can still puff the bowl ski sheet. So we'll do that. All right. So hour and a half. 8 p.m. Pacific over on the Jake Gibson channel. So 1.5 hours from now, we'll reconvene over there if you want to keep streaming with me. But if you're done and you need to go to bed or go to work or doing anything else, and I miss you over there in the next stream, thanks for joining me. Thank you to everyone who donated. Got a bunch of donations today. Been talking about a lot of different stuff. So thank you to everybody who's been here today. Everybody who said something here in chat, if I didn't read your message, I will go back and watch the entire thing. I'll go back, read every single chat in here. I always like to see who's saying what. So if I missed your chat, didn't read what you said, or a question that you had here while I was talking, I will go back and read and see every single chat. So whatever you said, I promise I will see it and I will read it later on. So I'll see you guys 1.5 hours over on the Jake Gibson channel, and hope to see you then. Peace.